Did you sleep with any of the moms that you were presenting the knives to?
Nah, because they're my friends.
Okay.
My friends' moms.
Like that would make a difference.
It would. I have certain boundaries sometimes. But nah, they weren't that hot. Anyway.
Yeah, your boundaries 7 or below.
Yeah, if she was like a 9 or 10, yeah, I would have tried my best.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday, November 21st. Is it really November 21st already? Damn.
That way. Yeah.
Damn. It's the holiday season coming up, and Steven Singer Jewelers has the #1 gift. Everyone knows that it's diamond stud earrings. Steven has the most beautiful, best value, real, natural diamond studs anywhere. Choose a great pair of Anita diamond stud earrings starting at just $298. Steven makes it so easy to buy real diamond jewelry for someone that you love. No phony sales, no haggling, no nonsense, just easy and fun. Steven's real diamond studs are flawless to the eye, near colorless, and they come with the unbeatable full-value lifetime trade-in. You can trade up your diamond studs anytime, receive exactly what you paid towards a larger pair. Steven also has the best guarantee in the business, a full 100-day, 100% no-hassle money-back guarantee. Fast, free shipping. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com, click on his Anita diamond stud earrings, or visit Steven's showroom at the other corner of 8th Walnut in Philly. Buy real diamonds from a real jeweler that you can trust. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. All right, we're back in studio. We're doing multi-level marketing and pyramid schemes today. Got a special guest coming in the studio. You guys might be able to guess which Barstool employees may have been involved in multi-level marketing in the past. If you guessed Ben Mentz, you're probably right, but we don't know that for a fact, but it's not him. If you guessed Jersey Jerry, I don't know. I don't think that he was, but he's not the guest. If you guessed Nicky Smokes, you are 100% correct.
Probably read it in the title, too.
Probably read it in the title. Good for you. So he will be joining us in a little bit. We're going to get into multi-level marketing stuff, but it's November 21st right now, Thursday, 1 week until Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are comfortable with your holiday plans coming up, maybe traveling already. So thank you for taking the time to listen to Macrodosing today. Really appreciate that. Right off the top, Big T sent a couple things over. We should talk about some things that are uniting this podcast right now. Dalton Knecht.
The greatest basketball player to ever live.
You've heard us talk about Dalton Knecht on this show before. Big T.
You just said we was getting united, and you go say some silly shit.
Well, Dalton Knecht,
He's in the running.
You're a Lakers fan.
It's not in the running.
Ari, I texted him last night. He was trying to downplay it. Even then, the guy was going.
No, it wasn't. You said he's the greatest. I think you said he's the greatest white basketball player ever, or something like that. And I'm like, he can't just pass a bird like that. Like, what do you mean?
He hit 9 threes in a row. Can I be a little hyperbolic when he's going nuclear?
I mean, just lead with the fact that you're throwing out hyperbole, because I'm an objective, bystander. Like I think nobody's happier that he's balling than me. I've been a Laker fan through the ups and the downs. I'm happy as shit.
Is he in your top 5 Lakers of all time?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like shit like that.
He's number 3 for me.
Why are we doing that?
But he could probably get to 1.
Who's your top 3 Lakers of all time?
Kobe.
Steve Blake.
I was always more of a Derek Fisher guy,
Okay.
but and then Dalton.
All right. He's number 3 though already on Mount Rushmore.
I don't know. He's number 1 for me. He's my number 1. He's my favorite. I haven't had like a favorite player in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not in the NBA, but like, after you're a kid, you don't have a ton of favorite players. Like, you just have your teams. He's my favorite player in anything right now.
Well, I took the exact opposite. When I was little, I had teams, and now I just have favorite players.
Interesting. I think like when you're a kid, you idolize like individual players more. And then now that I'm an adult, like I just have the teams I like.
You put some stink on that when you said certainly not in the NBA.
I just don't watch the NBA very much.
Okay.
But now I watch every Lakers game. As soon as Dalton gets to 10 points, I turn on the Lakers.
I think I'm ready to call it right now. Dalton Knecht, he might be the 3rd best basketball player in the history of North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious as to the other two.
Can you give me like years they were playing?
Yeah,
They got to be old.
So there was one who's a legit basketball legend.
Okay.
Basketball legend in terms of playing and especially in terms of coaching.
Especially in terms of coaching.
Yeah.
Red Auerbach.
Nope.
What years was he playing and what years was
Some
he
might
coached?
say he's the best coach of all time.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah, Phil Jackson.
Okay.
He's from North Dakota.
He's from North Dakota.
Wow.
How about that?
What were Phil Jackson's stats?
Look those up. I know he played 10 years, right? He played about 10 years on the Knicks.
He was
11
averaging
years.
like 7-8 a game. I've got Dalton above him.
So Phil Jackson averaged 7-8 points a game.
6.7 points a game for his career.
What were his rebounds, assists,
4 and 1.
and titles?
2.
Okay, so he was on great teams.
Yeah.
He's on great teams.
1968 all-rookie team.
But you could definitely say Phil Jackson as a basketball figure. Contributions
For sure.
to the game.
For sure.
Number one. Okay. And then I'm still going to have Dougie McBuckets over him.
Oh, give me a break.
Over Dalton Knecht? We're talking lifetime?
Doug McDermott?
Yes.
All right, well,
He's
give
still-
it
he's
give
still
it
in
2
the
years.
league.
Give it 2 years, and that won't be an issue.
He's been in the league for 10 years.
Yeah, he's had a lengthy career.
Yeah.
8.8 a game.
Okay. So that puts him-
40% three-point shooter. That's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. I think you're a fool if you put Dalton Knecht over him right
Give
now.
it 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Knecht. But I'm looking at the other names on this list, and there probably are some players that may have averaged more than 7 points a game, but I'm not recognizing any of them. So we'll see. Grant Nelson.
He's the Alabama guy transferred from North Dakota State. He's a good college player.
He's a good college player. Great mustache too. Ben Jacobson.
Never heard of him.
He's the coach of Northern Iowa.
Good program.
Yeah, so I'd say that Dalton Knecht probably number 3 all-time North Dakota basketball player. Big T, who would be your top 5 white American basketball players of all time?
So my
note, it's not me bringing up race.
so
Well, we talked about it
not me this
earlier, so I wanted to follow up on it. He didn't have Larry Bird
Not me.
okay.
So for me personally,
Mhm.
so my favorite player when I was a kid was Kyle Korver because he was just lights out. But now it's Dalton. So I would go Dalton 1, Kyle Korver 2. I'm just doing guys that I've watched. I'm not doing
Okay.
all time. It's a sharp drop off after that.
I mean, if you're going the all-time list, and yeah, Arian, I see that the stink look on your face. I agree, that's a stinky list. It's
He's not a ball watcher.
you're not
That's
a
all
ball
that means.
watcher.
Who are from 2005 on? Who are the best white Americans?
Okay.
Oh, you said from
I
2005.
said I was
on.
guys that I've watched. If you go all time, obviously it's Larry Bird,
Yes, obviously. And that
like-
is not even close.
like Jerry West, I guess.
It's fair.
I guess the logo of the NBA maybe.
Well, again, these
So-
are guys that I haven't seen.
R.I.P. Jerry
and
West.
he was playing Milkman.
but not a ball watcher though. That's okay.
R.I.P. Jerry West.
Not a ball.
But
He played in the
way,
60s.
But I watched people before I was alive because I loved the sport. I loved the game.
So in a way, Jerry West sucks that he died. Basketball icon, literally a basketball icon as the logo. But before he passed away, people were talking about changing the logo to like Kobe or changing the logo to Michael Jordan.
That was better. Yeah.
But because he passed away, I don't think anybody's talking about that anymore, right?
I haven't heard the murmurs around it. I know when Kobe died, people was passing around, but I feel like that was a little emotional. Now, Kobe's my dude. I do think he's top 5, top 7 all time. But I think that was an emotional move from the death of Kobe.
Now, when the sad day comes when Michael Jordan passes away, the people will bring it up then, after he's dead.
I think that's a fair point, though. I don't think anybody changed the game of basketball like Michael Jordan. There's an argument to be made about Steph Curry, which I don't have too much pushback about that. But as far as changing the game, globalizing it, he made it like a global brand.
Yeah.
And that's just hard to do. And so Mike changed the game in a very big and real way. No disrespect to Jerry West, but I think he had more impact on the game. I mean, it became like a cultural impact too when you look at how he changed sneakers in commerce. That's just, I mean, he's been retired for what, almost 20 plus years, and he still has like anytime he drops a new sneaker, people go get it, and it's the same sneaker, but it's just the way he changed everything inside of the game is it's hard to deny.
Yeah,
That's the biggest problem is
transcendent.
he's already got a logo that's trademarked.
That's true. They'd have to do a different
Like
logo.
you can't do a different Jordan logo.
People
I
wanna
think,
know-
I mean, I'm sure they could have some kind of brand merger to where they say, okay, can we use this as the logo? You get a certain amount of royalties for it. I mean, at some point you gotta put down your business hat and be like, yo, the legacy is kind of, it's iconic. Like, why wouldn't you use that one?
Yeah, I don't know if they would agree to that though. I mean, there's some teams. This is what's crazy is the New York Knicks, when they wear some of their jerseys, they have the logo. They have Michael Jordan on their uniforms, like the guy that tormented you for a decade.
That's
And now your team is wearing his logo. It's crazy, isn't it? It's like if the Bills like 20 years from now, if they change their uniforms and Patrick Mahomes was on there. And that's a legit comparison too. Like that's what it would be. He destroyed your hopes and dreams throughout the late 80s and through the 90s, and you're like, yeah, we'll honor this guy.
But I mean, not only that, I think he got his jersey retired in Miami too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. So like that's just unheard of. Like you made such an impact on the game that another organization is like, yeah, you can't wear 2-3, dog. That's Mike. That's crazy work.
You should build a statue for him in Miami.
That would be fire. He probably there more than the average person.
Yeah. So off the top,
another thing, he got logos on college football jerseys.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That shit's wild.
Off the top of my head, if I'm doing the top 5 best white American basketball players of all time, I'm gonna go with Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete.
Wait, hey, great pick.
Pistol Pete was awesome. Pistol Pete could play
Great
today.
Pick. He took what was known as street ball and like introduced it to the NBA before the brothers could.
Didn't he average
Like,
40 at LSU?
Yeah, they named the arena after him.
He was a bad man, dog. He was a bad man.
In 83 games at LSU, he averaged 44 points a game.
That's insane. No
He was a
3-point line?
bad man. Yep.
Yeah, I don't
Holy
think
shit.
so.
Yeah, that's unreal. Do yourself a favor. Go out there, pause this episode, or maybe when you're done with the episode, go pull up some Pete Maravich highlight tapes.
Pistol Pete, baby.
Yeah. I would have him on there. Obviously, Larry Bird.
Give me a number. So this is are you doing a chronological?
Okay, I'll go top to bottom, 1 through 5. But again, this is all off the top of my head, so I might.
This is just American white too.
Yeah.
This ain't just
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Larry Bird number 1. I might go Pistol Pete number 2.
Okay.
I think I would go Bob Cousy number 3. And then I think I would say, now this is where it gets tricky. I'm gonna go Jason Williams number 4. White chocolate. And then also, since you're already on YouTube looking up white NBA basketball players, watch the highlights of him and Randy Moss playing high school ball together.
Fire.
Yeah. And then 5, I'll go John Stockton.
I was about to say, how you leaving that's one of the goals.
So you didn't say Jerry West.
Oh, I didn't say Jerry. See, off the top of the head, Jerry West should be in that list.
Bob Cousy played against legit electricians.
But you have to honor
Like
the
Jerry
past.
West was at least a little bit after that.
Heritage. This is our heritage, Big T.
Yeah, I guess.
You're right. Bob Cousy, he gets a lot of slander because he has that one clip where he does like the slowest one-handed spin move of all time.
Yeah.
And people look like they've seen a witch and like turn
Yes.
into dust. But
who was it that put it behind his back for the first time in the telecast? And the telecast said, "Did you see what I just saw?" I forget who it was. He just went behind his back and it was like, "Oh my goodness!"
I would probably Jerry West. I'll put him in the top 5. I'll take Bob Cousy out, but Bob Cousy gets a lot of slander. He was a very good player, though.
He does get a lot of slander because he just looked like he moving like it looks bad. I'm not gonna lie, it looks bad.
I think that's a pretty good top 5, though.
I don't know how you. Okay, so it's
You could
Bird,
probably make
and
the
then
argument that Jason Williams should not be in the top 5, but
no, I'm
he was
okay
so
with that
good.
pick, but you had it before John Stockton.
Yeah, he was
That's a little wild.
a Karl Malone merchant. Also, John Stockton. If you look, I don't want to get too deep into the details of this, but if you look at some of the stats that he had, assists were tabulated by the home scorer. He might have gotten a lot of phantom assists where he would pass the ball, they'd take like 6 dribbles, score, give the assist to John Stockton.
Time out. Are you saying John Stockton's assist is got a little Biden inflation going on?
Yeah, I am. I'm saying that. I'm saying that John Stockton's assists, steals back in the day, you could, like, the home scoring system would absolutely inflate those.
I'm down for a recount.
Well, that's the thing. It's almost impossible to recount because a lot of the games are not available. You can't find the game film of, like, Utah Jazz early 90s games.
Where's the origin of this? Because I've never heard this before, that he had inflated assists.
I think it's talked about a lot. And there was an episode Pablo Torre's podcast had on, I forget who it was, but they were talking about some of the stats that you could go back and look at before games were broadcast on TV all the time and they were digitally stored. The ones that they could find, they looked up and found, some discrepancies. But more importantly than that, you can look at the home and away splits of players like Michael Jordan in the late 80s, early 90s. You can look at John Stockton. You can look at players that were trying to be marketed as like a big thing by their team. And you could see that their home and away splits for things like steals and assists, there's a huge discrepancy between how they were kept at home versus on the road compared to other players across the NBA. So it's not like this one guy just played really well at home. You could say that, but that's kind of a flimsy case. But if you look at John Stockton's numbers at home compared to his numbers on the road and some of the other big stars at the time, they don't translate. They don't match up with what every other player's splits were in those two categories. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to look at the actual numbers to see the discrepancy.
So now you can't do that because you've got everybody watching every game and also gambling on every game. And so people are betting assist totals.
I don't know. Okay, so this is from StatMuse. It's saying his stat per game. I'm sorry, his assist per game at home was 10.9 and away it was 10.1. That's not that big of a discrepancy.
I guess it's an assist per game.
And it said games played at home was 751, games away was 753. So this is pretty even. That actually kind of tracks out.
Well, look up who's another good point guard from that era.
Isaiah Thomas.
You look up Isaiah Thomas home and away assists.
Okay.
But it's a commonly discussed thing.
Well, I mean, I would love to see. Okay, so Isaiah Thomas home and away. Home was 9.8, away was 8.9.
Okay, that's pretty much exactly right.
Yeah. I mean,
well, here,
I'm open to the theory, to the conspiracy theory, but I just unless StatMuse is this is I know this is a reference of StatMuse if there's any other database.
Okay, so the stat keeper for the Vancouver Grizzlies, Alex Rucker, said that he was encouraged to inflate stats for star players when he was a scorekeeper. My job is to create the most accurate historical record of what occurred in the game, and I learned very quickly that was not the prevailing viewpoint. Went to the training in Detroit. Part of this training, they would show us video clips. They would show Stockton to Malone clips. There's a discussion, that was an assist, that was a pass, and then Malone dribbled a couple times, pump fake, then made a tough shot. There's no cause or connection between the pass and the basket, and the majority opinion by a mile was, oh no, that's definitely an assist. I said, what? And he was told, yeah, that's John Stockton. So he was told that with an expansion team like the Grizzlies, they have to market themselves, right? They have to make their players seem exciting, draw attention to a brand new team, sell more tickets, get more buzz about the organization, sell more jerseys, and so he was encouraged to inflate the stats at home. Jaren Jackson Jr., the Memphis Grizzlies have been accused of boosting his stats in 2023 when the Memphis Grizzlies scorekeeper was accused of posting fraudulent stats for Jaren Jackson Jr. There's a big disparity in his blocks and steals in home and away, which led to speculation that the scorekeeper was boosting them. In response to that, the NBA released a statement denying that was happening. But again, the Grizzlies have, like, this former stat keeper says that he was encouraged to do that.
How are scorekeepers not employed by the NBA?
It's a good question. And now it makes way more sense to do it because of gambling,
Right.
especially because you've got people like Stephen Shea that are watching games and they're watching every single assist. And if there's something that doesn't add up, they'll like narc on you and they'll send your information or send a clip of the play into the league and be like, hey, this should count as an assist. Why is this not counted? And
I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying you can't get away with it anymore because everyone's gambling on and all the sports books are watching every single player. So if somebody's cooking the books, it's like found out immediately that game.
Cooking the books. So I don't know this. I found an article from the Salt Lake Tribune that looked into it. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt. But it was Chris Paul that like kind of was saying, maybe there's some funny business that was going on, but like his percentage differentiation from home versus away is also the exact same as John Stockton, which is 7.3. And so when you look at like a lot of the big kind of Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, you remember Andre Miller, his assist differentiation was 16.2. So he had, that's even more of a discrepancy. Nick Van Exel was 24.2. Jay Kidd was 11. Mark Jackson was 9. Magic Johnson go 5.4. But like, so, I mean, it doesn't stand out. John Stockton's don't stand out. And so if they were inflating, it would be hard to mimic that on away games.
That's a fair point.
And I'm skeptical of that claim.
I'm looking at this same article right here. Mark Price, Cavaliers legend, had 27% more assists at home than he did on the road.
That's wild.
That would be one that you could probably point to. That's a pretty significant discrepancy right there. Doc Rivers too, 26%.
Yep. Let's see. I want to see what counts as an actual assist.
Shout out,
because is it like black and white or is it a little gray?
No, it's subjective. I don't think there's a.
Here's the definition. An actual assist is credited to a player who makes a pass that directly leads to a teammate scoring a point, meaning the recipient of the pass is able to score almost immediately. That's the gray area after receiving it without needing to make significant additional moves. Essentially, the pass is considered the key factor in setting up the score. That's so. Okay, so key points about an assist: direct pass. The pass must be the last pass before a shot is taken. Immediate scoring opportunity. The player receiving the pass should be able to shoot or score with minimal dribbling and additional actions. Only one assist per score. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's no concrete. Should we even be keeping this stat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does make a difference because you can do things on a basketball court that directly lead to your team scoring and winning that don't involve you being the guy that puts in the basket.
I'm unsure. The more I think about this, I'm unsure we should even have assists as a stat.
Well, you would hate hockey, Arian, because in hockey, they do it for the last two passes.
All right, so this is why. And that's silly too, but this is why. All right, so what could lead more to a bucket? Or you could argue it's like equally. And this is, just off the top of my head. Like a pick and roll leading to a bucket. Is that not an assist?
Well, pick and roll, yeah. If the guy that gets the pick set for him hits the guy that rolls, then the guy that
that's what I'm saying.
throws the passes, that he gets an assist.
No, but he's just saying if someone sets like a good screen that goes for a score, but you're not the guy who passes.
That's what I'm
saying. I would hear an argument for that. Like, who are the best pick setters in the NBA right now?
I'm sure teams know that, though. Like, teams know that kind of stuff. Like that's not a
But what I'm
stat that
saying-
you know, but like the guys in the NBA know that.
Yeah, possibly. But my point is, especially because there's so much gray area within like the assist. As like I pass a dude, he takes one dribble, turns on a fadeaway. How much did I contribute to that? Not much, right? I think there are certain passes that do lead, like you know what I'm saying, a dude cuts, and I no look, or you don't even have to no look, and I hit a cutter to the lane. That makes sense, but I think there's so much gray area within the passing to leading to a bucket. I'm unsure how important assists are for keeping a record of.
By the
I
way,
don't know.
screen assist is a stat.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the best?
Domantas Sabonis.
Hell yeah. Who's the top 5? I want to hear more about this.
Domantas Sabonis, Nick Richards, Jakob Pertl, Rudy Gobert, Jokic.
Jokic is there a category that Jokic is not top 5 in?
Probably not many.
Weight.
Well,
No, I bet he's top 5 for sure.
I'll tell him on the opposite end.
oh, skinny.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. But like an actual stat from a game.
No, I'm a fuck cold.
So this is NBA advanced stats. They have all sorts of stuff. They have deflections, loose balls recovered, screen assists, charges drawn, contested 2s per game, contested 3s, all sorts of stuff.
Who's the best at
See-
Oh, they have
charge?
box outs.
Oh, I like that too.
Yusuf Nurkic, best guy at boxing out.
So this is for like analytics, which makes sense, right? Every aspect of the game is analyzed. But as far as, all right, if you have 10 box outs a game, is that a triple double?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I understand it. I'm not arguing for the abolition of assists. I'm saying we should rethink it. Draw some more clear lines about what is and is not an assist, because they are seeming a little inflated at this point.
Can we track dribbles?
I'm sure, yeah.
Like who dribbles the most? How many
The
bounces?
GOAT game, one of the GOAT games of all time, was when Klay Thompson had I think it was 50 points. And
Yeah.
he had 4 dribbles or some shit like that.
That was awesome.
Crazy. That shit was dope.
Yeah, I want to know who leads the league in dribbles right now.
By the way, you want to
Pouring for Little League coaches.
Yeah.
Pouring for Little League coaches.
Everyone
Now
touches the
see,
ball.
you don't got to dribble all day.
talk about inflated statistics. Wasn't triple double made up by the Lakers radio guy to make Magic Johnson look better?
That sounds right. Yeah.
I believe someone on the Lakers made it up, and they were well, obviously it exists, but they were this is a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So that to say, oh, look how great Magic Johnson is, which obviously incredible player, but
Yeah.
that was, I believe that was made up by the Lakers.
And then Russell Westbrook just dominated.
Yes.
Yeah, he just got locked in on those.
Yeah.
Soccer would probably have some pretty fun assists or some fun stats that they could track in there, like flops, fouls drawn per game, penalties drawn per game that aren't actually penalties.
I'm sure someone's tracking that.
That would be one.
Miles run.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're one of those chips. I'm so glad that I didn't play sports in the GPS era.
Why?
I would have been found out so fast.
But I don't think high schools are using those. At least not.
I think some are.
Like IMG and shit is. but-
I think you'll see more teams doing it, like top tier regular high schools, public high schools.
You would have been found out. Explain it
as a
to me.
slacker.
To see how fast you can run.
Well, no, more about just laziness.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
More-
everybody else ran 4 miles during this practice. You ran 1.2.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I was so good at stopping running when the coach would be looking at something else. Yeah. I'd be like, fuck this. I'm tired. I don't want to do this shit anymore. Yeah. That's my biggest fear, actually, is just having somebody analyze every single motion that I make and just see how inefficient I am athletically. It's not like I was really faking get away with much anyways.
How long do you think people are going to keep pretending to not know what those are every time they're in a video of players training during the off season? And there's people tweeting, why is he wearing a bra?
Oh, yeah.
And they've been doing this for 5 years at this point, and people still, how long is that going to keep going?
Well, I remember the first time that I saw it, and I was like, "What is he? Why is he wearing a bra?" I think
Right.
it really separates people from the real like sports freaks
Yes.
from the casuals that just tune in. If somebody says, "Why is that guy wearing a bra?" then you know that they don't watch sports really.
Right.
They don't watch enough like highlights of training.
Right.
They're not as invested. First time I saw one, actually, I was driving in Austin, and I was driving down the street, and there was somebody that was out for a run on the right, and it looked like the smallest sports bra that you've ever seen. I'm driving up behind him, I'm like, "Ooh, look at that!" And I pass it, it's a dude, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Arian, did
There
you
were
ever
people in the
use-
car with me too. It was very embarrassing.
Did you ever use one of those masks that is supposed to be like for altitude? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I tried it.
Did those do anything?
I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. Who made it popular? Marshawn. Marshawn made that shit popular. He wore one and it looked cold. You know what I'm saying? He got the locks hanging over. It looked cold with it, and everybody was just like trying it out. It's supposed to like help you increase your lung capacity. I don't know the science behind it, but I tried it, and I was like, it's stopping me from breathing. This is stupid.
How much harder is it to play in Denver than other places?
See, I never had a problem with that. I know dudes that did, but I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is actually higher than Denver. Yeah. And so I always had lungs. I was like when my peers would always be like, you have what is it called? Speed endurance speed endurance. And I never really got tired like that. I do believe my origin place of birth had something to do with that and the altitude. But also I used to run all the time. I was like, I could put in miles during my training, so I trained for it. But I know guys that went to Denver, and I remember we was in the huddle, and like motherfuckers' mouth would be dry as shit. And I'm like, yeah, he's struggling. People struggle.
Yeah,
that was my favorite place to play.
Because you felt like you didn't get as tired as other people?
No, I just think they took care of their field the best in the NFL. It was like playing on a fairway grass, dog. It was amazing.
Everybody remembers 2011, I believe 2011, the quarterfinals of the United States Men's Club Rugby Tournament. The Austin Huns were up by 14 points after 60 minutes, and then the altitude hit, and then they ended up losing against one of the top seeds. I believe it was the Denver Barbarians.
We'll never forget that
legendary game.
Yeah.
Also, at about the 60-minute mark, Impact scrum half Eric S. was taken out of that game with the lead. Then it all went downhill. But the altitude was a real problem in that game.
Where was that played?
That was in Denver. That was at...
I meant what stadium?
I'm trying to remember the name of the stadium. It's like they call it Rugby Town, USA. It's like a rugby stadium.
I remember watching it on flowsports.com. I just forget
Yeah.
where it was played exactly.
Oh my God, Flow Sports. Was it in maybe Glendale, Colorado, at Infinity Park?
Is that where Rugby Town, USA is?
That's what Google says.
Yep.
Rugby Town, USA.
Yep,
Is.
that's the place. That's the
Rugby
place.
Town, US. That sounds like that shit Big T said in San Diego.
Yeah.
Chuckletown, haha, USA.
What was that in reference
Oh
to?
my God. When we were walking down the street and you were trying to go home. Oh, no. You were
couldn't
guessing
figure
the
out
Tennessee
who-
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave you a Tennessee.
It was because Arian's the second leading.
Rusher.
Yes, who was the first.
Right.
And you couldn't remember.
Well, I was drunk as a skunk.
Did you remember that?
I don't know. That threw me off.
Yeah. So specific.
Because that's shit you just don't hear every day.
Yep.
Chuckletown, haha, USA.
I wonder if you have that on video somewhere.
Oh, I do.
It's still in the
Yeah.
It's still in the video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did it make the cut? I don't know if it did.
No, definitely it did.
Okay.
I'll throw it in. I'll throw it in.
I'm
I
calling
need to go home. What is this guy's name? Guys, I don't like this feeling. I don't like it. I know we're all in Chuckletown, haha, USA. I don't like this. Chuckletown, haha, USA.
I know we're in Chuckletown. Haha, USA.
Son of a bitch, it's Travis.
Travis!
Oh, we knew.
That next morning, worst day of my life.
He threw chunks in a tub.
Bro, it was It was so awful.
I don't know if that was public information.
No, we talked about
Yeah,
it.
we talked.
I never released the
There was no
photo.
photo.
Right,
but-
the photo, yeah.
for people.
Strange colors.
and it was
Sent
like,
to the group chat.
and I was throwing up as we were supposed to be leaving the hotel, like, and I was checking out. So and they were knocking on my door. I was like, "You gotta give me a minute. I'm trying to fix this place." It was a bad scene. It's a bad deal.
Funny, man.
Do you think that if a baby in the womb, if they spend 9 months in Albuquerque, you think they adapt to breathing oxygen at a more efficient level?
I have no idea.
Well, they're not breathing oxygen.
Yeah, they're
in
not
the womb, are
breathing.
They're getting oxygen from somewhere from the mom.
they? I don't know enough about human anatomy. Hold on, let me see.
Just send pregnant moms to Albuquerque in the hopes that your children will grow up to be elite athletes.
If you get a surrogate, make sure she's from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they get oxygen from the womb through the placenta.
So
The placenta acts as the gateway that allows oxygen and nutrients to pass from the mother's blood, but they don't actually breathe, right?
it says high altitude may cause a reduction in uterine artery blood flow, which would limit nutrient delivery to the fetal placental unit. In turn, the fetus would face limited growth due to nutrient and oxygen deficiency.
That's probably a tough place to be pregnant
Denver?
as a mom. Denver or Albuquerque.
Yeah, it says
Because you get less oxygen
to take in.
to take in.
Yeah.
It says traveling to high altitudes like the mountains may cause problems during pregnancy.
Hey, yo, we don't talk about that enough as a species. It is fucking weird as shit that humans grow inside of other humans. That shit is like that shit's a wild thing to me that we just kind of like have accepted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how humans come to, but it's just like, bruh, you just a little parasite cooking in a. That shit is weird.
No, trust me, I've thought about it.
It's crazy to me that like people just like figure out how to be parents. Like it's like
Yeah.
for
you
certain
don't.
jobs you have to have like 12 years of experience, but like you could just walk out of the hospital with a child.
Yeah, they just like let people walk out with babies.
like it whenever I think about it for too long, I'm like it's actually so crazy. But like everyone does it.
Yeah.
Like everyone figures it out.
Yeah.
for
When I
the
think
most
about
part.
when I think about the fact that like someday I'm gonna have to be pregnant, it actually like sends chills down my spine, and I go into like I cannot think about that.
Mm-hmm.
in a real
Okay,
way.
Maddie and Mac for eugenics. I hear y'all.
No,
Okay.
I'm for good parenting, and I'm for the fact that I am terrified of being pregnant.
No, absolutely. I agree. I think the future of the human. This might be a hot take, but I think the future of the human race is eugenics.
Oh,
It's
shit.
gonna get there.
Okay.
All right.
Am I dumb? I don't know what this
No,
is.
he's really earning his first name. Go on.
All right, so
That took
all
a
right, so-
turn.
So I mean, we've talked about this a little before with CRISPR, right? CRISPR is a technology where you can have gene editing. All right, so say we figure out the gene for cancer. Say we figure out the gene for, I don't know, tuberculosis, STDs, all these diseases, and we say, okay, you're pregnant, and we can alter the genes of your child to make sure that it does not get cancer. That is a very real proposition to place upon parents, right? There are some ethical, I guess, paradoxes, or I guess Pandora's box that it will open up.
Yeah.
Because if it starts at we can get rid of diseases, then can we start to edit for traits
Yeah.
and characteristics that you would enjoy? I would love my, child to have, a higher capacity for IQ, a higher capacity for math, and so I mean it is a very thin line, a tightrope that you walk in, but I mean you answer the question. If you can make sure that your baby doesn't have any kind of future heart problems, any disease, any cancer, any of that, would you not at least think about it?
Yeah. Like, for example, men who are 175.3 centimeters or less live an average of 4.9 years longer than those that are over 175.3 centimeters.
I get the argument. I definitely do. I'm not saying I'm for it right now, but I think in the future, when the technology becomes like undeniable, it's a very real proposition that's going to be placed upon humanity. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of resistance at first, but I'm sure there's going to be some guinea pigs that'll be like, "What? Why wouldn't I want my baby to be healthy?" and that just opens up the floodgates of how much can we push this mold. And I think if you want to be an interstellar species, you're gonna have to have a population that is smart. And right now we don't have that.
Yeah, it's like you would think that cancer would be an obvious one, right? If you can limit your child from having cancer at some point in their lives, you want to take that step. But then, yeah, there's a lot of other things that correlate to like long life. But then those just become also like, I want my baby to be the most like perfect, desirable in terms of appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's really strange.
And then that could be, I mean, that could spawn an entirely different trajectory to the human race, because now you have a bunch of babies who are genetically engineered and they have all these desirable traits and characteristics. What does that do to the breeding of children that are like that?
We become more homogenous.
Could be. We don't know.
Everybody looks the same.
That could, I mean, to me, I've had a few conversations with women who like are aging and they have, they want to get Botox or, you know what I'm saying? Or, the injections that, you know what I mean? Like freeze the cells. I don't know what that shit does. And I'm like, yo, that's the ugliest shit in the world to me. All you women are starting to look alike that get these injections. And like, you're almost drawn by the doctor that you go to.
Yeah.
And you start to look alike. If you look at all the like reality TV shows, the Housewives or whatever, they all look the same, like very similar characteristics. And to me, that's just the ugly thing. But it's my opinion. Do you think?
So just if you're curious, 1.75 centimeters is 5.74 feet. 175 centimeters, 5.74 feet. What does that turn out to? So that's like 5 3/4 of a foot. What's 3/4 of?
Wait, 5.4? That's less than half.
No, 5.74.
Oh, I think you said 5.4.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So
that'd be
about
9 inches.
5'8", 5'9", somewhere in there. It's a leading indicator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, hey, shout out to all you guys out there that are 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Not
hair color.
advocating for eugenics.
You
Almost
explicitly did.
The way this started
I'm saying if the technology gets there, it is a real question that humanity will have to face. Right now, I'm not saying, yo, go make sure your baby can jump high. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it is going to be a dilemma that humanity is faced with. And I don't think that we're gonna have the conservatism to say, nah, this is the way God made us. I don't think it's gonna be the case.
Especially with cancer. Cancer, heart defects, things like that.
Yeah, bro.
Like if you could guarantee that your baby never had cancer, most parents would take that step.
I would do that shit in a heartbeat, dog.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen like parents go through their child having cancer, it is one of the saddest shits. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. That shit is sad, dog. Like, and if you could prevent that, shit, I would.
And if we stay on this planet long enough, we're all going to be the same race.
It's facts.
I believe it was Bulworth, Warren Beatty in that movie that said we all got to keep fucking each other till we're all the same color.
Yep.
He lived by that motto too.
Race.
You practice
Second
what you
time
preach.
I didn't bring up race. I just want to bookmark that. Second time I didn't bring up race.
Okay, noted. What else we got to discuss today, Big T? You sent over a Jaguar ad.
Yeah, did you see this?
I did see this.
What the fuck? And then, so the ad, if you haven't seen it, is just super weird and like about nothing really.
Wait, hold on. I mean, if you like fashion and if you like lighting, because lighting is an art in itself, it is very well done. It is very aesthetically pleasing. I get how people can say it's weird. I guess it's like a rollout, right? They're going to reveal what it's really about because there's no cars in the in the ad. But that's what advertising and marketing is, right? You get the people talking.
And then everybody responded like, "Do you sell cars?" And they would respond, "A pivotal moment."
I mean, this is working.
It's obscure.
Yeah, I guess
it's getting people talking about Jaguar.
If you go to the tweet
Jaguar.
though, there are they hid thousands of replies under this tweet of just people being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, if this commercial had a car that sucked in it, then I could see this being like not necessarily good for sales. But the fact that it's announcing that there will be a product and we're talking about it right now because it's such a preposterous commercial, when they do unveil that car, way more people are going to pay attention to what the car is. Way more.
I think they might be trying to like do other shit.
You think that they're branching out from cars?
Yes. Like if you go to their website, it has the ad on there. It says a seismic change is coming. And they just keep saying all this weird cryptic stuff.
Yeah, this is marketing.
It's working.
This is effective marketing.
Did you see
bizarre commercial for sure?
Is this about like their new logo? Because they just announced a new logo.
It's probably
the logo is in the commercial, but this is a 30-second thing.
Is this the worst news that's happened to the Jaguars all year?
That's probably the best.
What if their new spokesperson is Doug Peterson?
That'd be good.
I don't think it would. Why haven't the Jaguars fired Doug Peterson yet?
I don't know enough about the goings on of the Jags to answer that for you.
I thought for sure that was going to happen on Monday. For sure. Because they're on a bye week right now. And they said, we're going to base, the future of the franchise on what happens against the Detroit Lions. And then they just got steamrolled.
52-6, was it?
Yeah. Did you like playing in Jacksonville?
It was always empty. It was very empty, and I used to love talking shit to the fans. They were fun to talk shit to. Yeah, it was a good place. The field was nice. Yeah.
How does Jacksonville have an NFL team?
Well, if you listen to Trevor Lawrence, they are the biggest NFL market.
Well, that's just flagrantly untrue.
Well, in terms of area. Jacksonville is a big city by land.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
I'm rewatching this. I kind of like this, man. I kind of like this commercial.
It's going to be a commercial that we look back on in 30 years and be like, oh, that was weird. Like if they did something like this in the 80s, they would fuck it up and it might be cool and avant-garde at the time. Then you look back on it, you're like, oh, that was really bizarre. Why did we do that?
It depends on what they got coming after it.
Yeah, something seismic. So wait, Big T, that you're saying that because the area is so big that shouldn't count? Like you're saying that land doesn't root for NFL teams?
No, I'm saying that it's a shitty town that shouldn't have a team.
Okay.
Damn.
I've had fun in Jacksonville.
You were about to try to make a really bad point, though.
No, I just said what I said.
Yeah.
It seems like you're dismissing a very large portion of Florida.
The shitty part, yeah.
What don't you like about Jacksonville?
It's an awful, gross city.
Go on.
I mean, it's in the part of Florida that no one wants to be in.
You ever been to Jacksonville Beach?
No, thankfully.
It's beautiful.
Have you been to other beaches in Florida?
I have.
Are they better or worse than Jacksonville?
Well, I'm comparing it right now to Panama City Beach, so I'm going to say worse.
Also in the part of Florida nobody wants to be in.
I would agree. Panama City Beach is such a bad place.
Redneck Riviera.
Nothing good is happening in Panama City Beach right now. Everyone's doing crimes. They're all criminals.
Well, for some people, good things happen in Panama City.
Who's that?
Rednecks.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs in Panama City Beach. I went there for spring break my sophomore year of college. And I had fun for like one day there. And then I was like, get me the fuck out of Panama City Beach. Almost bought a timeshare though, which I guess is kind of like a multi-level marketing direct sales thing.
Why did you do that?
Well, it's a long story, but you got access to like different parties if you sat through a timeshare presentation. Almost bought a timeshare in Orlando too with my buddy Taylor.
You don't seem like an Orlando guy.
I love the medieval times there.
Okay.
In Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great medieval times, and they give you free tickets if you sit through a timeshare presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But there's a difference in sitting in one with no intention of buying anything and then you saying you almost bought one.
Well, my buddy Taylor almost did buy one.
Okay.
Like he was calling his parents, being like, "Can you co-sign on this for me?"
What does a timeshare in Orlando cost?
I'm trying to remember what it was at the time. This would be 2005. I think it was in the neighborhood of like 40, 50,000.
Oh.
Yeah, good deal, right?
Well, no, that sounds like a lot, especially for
okay.
college kids.
Yeah. Okay, I thought it was a good deal. You build credit.
And what does that get you?
I don't recall exactly what the terms of it were, but you get access to the condo like 5 months a year. I forget.
Interesting.
Yeah. What else we got going on in the world today? Anything you guys want to talk about? Arian, what's new?
Not much on my end. It's 66 degrees here, man, and it's a gorgeous day. Feel like I'm making strides in my golf game. Not that anybody cares, but I do. So it's beautiful.
It's about to snow here in Chicago tomorrow.
I just saw that.
A word?
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Hasn't even been very cold.
It
Right.
hasn't. It was a little chilly this morning. Blake loved it. Kept trying to go outside and just hang out in the cold weather.
Oh.
People in the neighborhood think I'm a negligent dog owner sometimes because when it gets really, really cold, he's just out there and he just doesn't want to come inside. It's 0 degrees and Blake's out on the porch just loving life.
But I feel like that's where he thrives.
He does thrive, yeah. He thrives there.
I saw something about you killed a turtle. What's that about?
I killed a turtle?
You, PFT possibly caused the death of a giant tortoise that belonged to Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Oh, from the Donnie podcast?
Yeah. It was a giant tortoise, first of all, not a turtle.
Uh-huh.
It was a Pinta Island
I
tortoise.
apologize.
His name is Lonesome George. He was the last of his kind. I believe
yeah.
he was the oldest tortoise in the world. He lived in the Galapagos. He was the mascot of the island chain, one of the mascots of Ecuador, and he was really fucking old, like super old. And when I went to Ecuador, I visited the Galapagos, and I wanted to see Lonesome George, and he died the day I was supposed to see him.
Damn.
So I never actually got to meet him, unfortunately.
How old was he?
Depends on where you look. I've seen anywhere between 90 and 160 years. Nobody really knows, but these tortoises can live to be well into their hundreds, and it was speculated that Lonesome George was the oldest tortoise in the world at the time that he died.
Why do they live so long?
That's a good question. I don't know. They don't really age that much because they're slow even when they're young. They don't expend a lot of calories. They have no known predators on that island, so they don't like have birds that are swooping in and killing them.
It is said that tortoises' longevity is almost certainly linked to their slow metabolism, which results in a more gradual accumulation of harmful genetic mutations and toxic biochemical byproducts.
There you go. And they're not.
So they just take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
Just
chill.
takes them a while.
They're just chill guys.
Yeah.
I seen a new meme. Maybe it's old. But
No,
there's
it's new.
There's like a dude standing
Yeah.
in like this field with his pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either.
Big T
But
hates it.
though.
It's literally the only thing on my Twitter.
Big T hates it, even though it is identical to the Kevin James meme.
I don't hate
It's
it.
the same.
I just don't. What's it from?
I don't know. Hold
Doesn't
on.
matter.
Let me
You're
look.
being very unchill right now.
Totally, dude.
I'm going to make
you
Big
got,
T
you,
do something.
you got your hands out of your pockets right now.
Yeah, and who decided that this guy was going to be everywhere today?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
I found the legit origin.
Okay, go on.
So it's from Reddit from 2 months ago in r/lies. Oh, wait. Okay, so maybe I didn't. It says, I just made this character. His whole idea is that he's a chill guy that low-key doesn't give a fuck. No idea where he originated, but he's made as an Arthur OC. I don't know what an OC is. But I think it's supposed to be like chill Arthur. Wait.
Like the TV show,
Yeah.
the Aardvark.
Is there a name?
Chill
for this
guy.
guy.
Chill guy.
Chill guy meme.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's literally a cartoon dog that someone just created.
Well, you just said he's supposed to be an aardvark.
But someone said Arthur, but now I'm seeing that it's just a
It
dog.
looks like a dog.
I know. And we cannot forget this smug smile. Yeah, no, that's like literally all it is. It's just literally some dog that a guy drew.
Trivia question: who are Arthur's sister and best friend?
DJ, his sister.
No, DW. His
DW,
sister.
shit. DW, his sister. And his best friend, I don't know.
Buster the
Buster.
rabbit.
Buster
Okay.
the Rabbit.
Also, I thought
It's good trivia.
who is there? I thought the sister was Francine.
Oh, who's D? No,
But
DW,
no, now that you say it, DW is. But there's someone who's Francine.
she might be in the class with him.
I've actually never seen Arthur.
Oh, Arthur's cool.
Yeah. Francine is another kid.
Francine Frensky.
All right, what else we got? Big T, you want to talk about college football playoff?
Nah, I mean nothing's changed.
Nothing will change until the games are played, and then
Unless
then everything's going to change.
Well, but like from when we last discussed to the rankings, like nothing really
Pretty much what you expected.
earth-shattering happened.
I needed a prediction from you on the record. Will Tennessee make the college football playoff?
Yes, I think it is more likely than not, but slightly.
What's your most likely path?
Ole Miss losing to Florida on Saturday,
Okay.
or Notre Dame losing to USC.
That would be USC Super Bowl this year, right?
Yes, played Penn State very tough at home, should have beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need one loss from any of Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Notre Dame, Penn State.
Including the SEC championship?
No, they're not gonna punish somebody who makes the SEC championship, which 10-3 Alabama getting in over 10-2 Tennessee, who beat Alabama, would be the most disgusting way this could end.
I don't like the idea of a 3-loss SEC team getting in.
But you have to account for the fact that if they punish a team who makes the SEC championship game, teams will actively try to not make the championship games anymore, which is worse for the sport long term.
So 3-loss Alabama could potentially get in over 1-loss Indiana.
No.
No.
Indiana's in no matter what, unfortunately.
Okay. Even if they get the shit kicked out of them. By
I think
Ohio
they'd have
State.
to lose by like 50 points.
What do you predict in that game?
They're going to lose by like 17, 20.
Yeah.
They're not going to be competitive, and the only team they've played with the pulse this year, and they'll get in. And then they'll get killed at home by Ole Miss or Alabama or whoever goes there.
Is this loser talk that I'm rooting for Alabama? Because
Yes.
so they're sorry.
You said yes.
All right, what about Indiana? Is it loser talk that I'm rooting for Indiana because their coach, Kirk Cignetti, he was the coach of JMU. He was the coach of Elon before that. Kirk gets hired by Indiana, imports like a group of 5 all-star team. That's basically what Indiana is this year. They're the best players from the smaller conferences last year, including, I think, 14, 12 players from JMU are on that team.
A bunch, yeah, I don't know.
So a lot of people are upset that Kurt Cignetti left JMU because he had said this is where he wants to retire. This is his last stop. He's an older guy.
They all say that.
They all say that. But he did leave my school, but he did great things at my school. 2 Sun Belt championships that I personally count, even if the league doesn't necessarily reward that. But the fact that if our school can be a stepping stone school for coaches that go on to do great things at Power 5 conferences, I think that is good for where JMU currently is, for like attracting good coaches and just the notoriety of the program in general. I think that's a good
agree.
thing. So even though he left me, I'm still kind of rooting for the guy.
No, I don't hate that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, there are JMU players like playing significant roles for Indiana.
Yeah.
So.
I've been called a loser for thinking that way. I think it's pragmatic. I think that's a realistic way to
Do
approach
you
it.
think they should get in if they lose on Saturday and finish having not beaten a single good team the entire season?
I don't know. I personally would say that they should get in, but that's just because I'm rooting for them. Like, I'm not going to be objective about this.
If you were objective.
I don't know. It's hard for me to be objective.
106th best schedule in America.
You play who you play.
That's the issue, yeah.
And they've got teams that in the past, like 4 or 5 games, would probably beat the shit out of Indiana.
Are you aware they also took Louisville off the schedule this year?
I am. That was not Kurt Cignetti that did that, though.
Correct. Well, athletic directors do that, but
yeah.
Louisville was on the schedule and then they weren't.
Yeah. What was the reasoning for that?
Just teams buy out of games sometimes. I don't.
Yeah. that would have gone a long way to solidifying their case.
And now maybe they go out there and win. I hope they do, because it would be much cleaner than you go 12-0 and put them in number 1 if you want. I don't care. But if they lose by 30 and get in, I will be very upset.
Does this count as a big game on the Can Ryan Day win big games meter?
No, there's no upside here for them.
Yeah.
Because you're at home, you're a 13-point favorite. Like if he loses this game, he's going to get fired.
But if he loses this game, it counts as a Ryan Day can't win big games. Important games.
Well, like I said, it's heads I win, tails you lose. Like either he beats Indiana or he loses to Indiana.
Yeah. I was saying yesterday that Georgia to me seems like the best team.
They're up there for sure.
I feel like Georgia at their best beats any other team at their best.
Probably, yeah.
Except I don't know about Oregon. I have no idea what to even think about Oregon. Like Oregon at their best against Georgia at their best, no idea what that game would look like.
Like if it was I think the 5 best teams right now are probably Georgia, Bama, Oregon, Ohio State, and then that 5th's like maybe Ole Miss, although Tennessee's resume is better than Ole Miss. But like if I was another team, I would probably rather play Tennessee than Ole Miss. I don't know. It's a whole thing. We just need one team to lose.
Yeah.
Somebody lose a game.
Arian, have you kept track of this at all?
I have not. It's a lot of what ifs and all of that, and I don't really watch enough to, I'll catch some games here and there.
It's a whole racket.
Yeah, it's a lot of politicking going on.
Yeah, so who is in charge of the college football playoff? Ward Manuel?
Correct.
What are your thoughts on him?
He's a scumbag loser with no sense of what he's doing. He's a communist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Well, I mean, in a cruel twist of fate, my favorite sport is a pretty communist organization. We want a group of 5 team in. Get Indiana in there, all the teams that don't play anybody. For all they talk about an SEC bias, the bias is in favor of the little guy.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes. We have a spot of the 12 best teams, supposed to be what's the 12 best teams, designated for someone from conferences that we know do not contain the best teams.
Well, how can you say that?
How can I say it?
Yeah, how can you say that definitively? If a team wins every game that's on their schedule, how can you say that team is worse than a team that has lost 4 times?
Because 4 times, obviously that's ridiculous, but we know. Last year, Liberty went undefeated. They played Oregon, lost by 60 points.
Yeah, it was a great game.
And that Oregon team was not a playoff team.
But we've also seen teams from Group of 5 compete against Power 5 teams.
Sure.
Or Power 4 teams.
Yeah, that happens. That doesn't mean they're one of the 12 best teams in the country.
Yeah, but then you get into all this subjective stuff about we just know that
Boise and or BYU are going to get killed.
Well, BYU they're Power 4.
Yes, but that's the top 5 highest rated conference champions get in. So the Big 12, which is a horrific conference this year, their champion is going to get in. 95% likelihood. There is a scenario where that doesn't happen, but
that would be the most hilarious scenario, I think, is if the Big 12 champion wasn't in the college football playoff at all.
It would take a lot for that to happen, but it is possible.
It is possible theoretically, and I'm rooting for chaos in this instance. But you're just doing the eye test. I know that a team from
it should be
the Big 12
we should try to find the 12 best teams.
Okay.
And from whatever conference those come from, that's what it should be.
This boils down to a shitload of SEC and Big 10 teams.
Right, but even the Big 10 teams, only one of them has a win worth a shit, 1.5 if you count Ohio State beating Penn State, who didn't score an offensive touchdown. But
yeah, I mean Penn State
has beaten nobody.
I guess they beat USC. That's their big achievement.
Their best
right?
win is 5-5 USC. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, Big Ten having a down year. SEC's just dominant this year. They've got good teams. They're so good that they beat each other.
I mean, yeah, the problem is let's, run a race. I'll run uphill, you run downhill. And then they say, okay, will win the race.
Mhm.
Well, okay, the race is different.
That would be a good job, though, to be on the college football playoff committee. Just hang out, nice hotel room.
Yeah, I'm not convinced they're doing any work in there, but
No. How much do they get paid for that?
I don't know that they do.
Maybe briefcases under the table from
Yeah,
ESPN.
I don't know. It's a whole thing. Somebody's going to lose. Ole Miss is going to lose to Florida.
Okay, speak on it. Speak it into existence, Big T. All right, we want to get into some multi-level marketing stuff. Arian, you good?
I'm amazing, man. I had a quick question for you coffee drinkers. Is back-to-back cups probably not the move?
Not if you want to go to sleep tonight.
Does it last that long?
That's soft. That's soft. my
No,
dog.
it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you'd probably be fine. I feel like it depends on the person too.
Yeah. Like if I have 2 cups of coffee, I have a hard time falling asleep at night.
I'm really contemplating getting me another one, man. This shit.
You do you.
Okay.
You should.
Remember
You
when
gotta-
you
you
said
gotta
you
know-
were only going to use it like as needed, sparingly?
I do. I don't use it unless I feel like so Eric texts us at 10:45 and say, "Hey, we're starting at 11."
Or 11:15.
So I was I was catching up on my rest this morning.
That's
and,
fair.
And I needed coffee today. I just there was no way around, and it worked, and I feel amazing. But kind of just it's starting to get to the point where I could just drink this shit. This shit tastes good, but I don't use it unless I need it though.
Would you drink decaf
Right.
just to be drinking coffee?
No, fuck no. That's
Oh yeah,
crackhead.
why not?
Yeah.
Nah, that's crackhead shit. Nah.
That is, he brings up a great point, though. At what time did you know you wanted to start at 11?
Last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did not send that text.
I'm going to see what time it was sent.
Yeah, last night I figured let's start at 11.
10:36.
Okay, 10:36. So not 10:45.
Yeah,
That's right.
It was
That is
close
correct.
to 11, though.
All right, fine.
It all worked
I was
out.
here. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Early to bed,
Yeah,
early
Big
to
T
rise.
Big T sits in the studio anyway.
I'm in here at 9, so
Yeah.
I did read that if you drink 3 cups of coffee a day, it makes you less likely to have mental problems like dementia.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Is there science behind
Yeah,
this?
science.
3 a day?
3, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Step it up.
Going to be wired out of your mind.
You'll have anxiety.
Yeah.
step your-
You'll be shaking and pooping your pants.
Well, not all at once.
Maybe.
You spread it out. You have one when you get up in the morning, you have one around midday, and then you have one to get you through the afternoon.
How do old people have coffee after dinner? I don't get that.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
question.
espressos. I don't
like
know.
My
Yeah,
dad does that.
Yeah, like I've never gotten that. Like, how are you going to sleep?
Puts them to bed, like
But, like,
calms them
how?
down. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. I've gotten really into the sleep blindfold game recently. Really
I
into
saw it from your sick video.
Oh yeah.
But I stepped it up. I got a better one. I got a better sleep mask.
Explain.
It's total blackout. Can't see anything. The Bluetooth speakers in the straps that go around the side of my head. I can't
There
even.
was speakers in it. We talked about it briefly. We wasn't sure if there were speakers or not.
Yeah. So the one that I got recently, it's got these speakers that are better quality, and you can't feel them when you lay on your side at all. So they're like for side sleepers, of which I am one.
What, are you putting like white noise in it or something?
And podcasts, YouTube videos.
And you fall asleep like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's great.
So then you wake up with like YouTube playing?
No, it stops at some point in the night.
Interesting.
Yeah, it cuts off. Now, there was one time when there was an episode of Macrodosing, actually, that popped up. It was like YouTube, like goes to the next video automatically. And I was hearing myself in the night, and that woke me up, and that sucked. I hated that. That's the worst way to wake up ever, to the sound of your own voice.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I've done that where I have YouTube on my TV and I wake up and it's you guys or like part of my take or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oof.
Last night, actually, I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was an interview with Jordan Peterson in my headphones.
That's a good way to wake up.
That's a terrible way.
That's a
That
terrifying
voice,
way to wake up.
that voice. Do you think that's a good thing to hear in your sleep?
Damn it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I have a meme on my phone saved to him.
You have a
what does
meme
he
of
say?
everything.
It's just the funniest shit though. He says, "Up yours, woke moralist," or some shit like that. Fucking funny.
I think
He went rogue there for a little bit, though.
what I woke up to this morning was him saying, like, cynicism has led to some very productive things. And I was like, no, stop.
The last I saw of him was he was very obsessed with this suit jacket he has that's like blue and maroon, and he says it's heaven and hell. Have y'all seen that?
Like Ryan Clark
I don't know.
on Monday Night Countdown. You see that suit? He had half plaid, half blue.
I did not see that. But this is I think he said somebody sent it to him or something, and he was like, I love this suit.
Something very drunk.
My suitcase. I go to school now.
Yeah, Ryan Clark looked like one of those dogs where half their face is brindle, half their face is like white, and then depending on what side you look at them, they look like two different dogs.
I totally know what that is.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We all do. All right, let's talk about multi-level marketing.
Ooh.
Let's get into it. Before we do,
Real quick. Have you ever looked at those, those things, those electro-stimulated ab things? Does that shit work?
I've put them on before.
I knew you did. That's why I asked. Like, what's the feel?
It doesn't feel great. Now there was
With the results though.
There was this one company that came in, and apparently it's very popular over in Europe, where they put like an entire vest and arm thing on you and leg thing on you, and it stimulates the muscles as you're doing like a workout. And I will tell you that after the workout was done and the days afterwards, I felt like I had a good strength workout. Like my muscles had that good soreness to them, and it didn't feel a little bit uncomfortable as I was doing it. But no more so than like if you did a hard weight workout.
Right. I want to know the science behind it. I wonder if that works.
Are you trying to get those abs?
No. I was just, if I could knock off an inch or two in the midsection without actually having to do shit, I'm with it. But I don't know if it's actually a viable thing.
I think depending on what company you use, this one Catalyst, it felt like I was getting a workout in, for sure. But the ones that you just like sit on your couch and you put on, I don't know if that would do much.
Also, I know a lot of people use the one, they're like literally just like the bands that you put around your stomach. Like Kim Kardashian uses them.
Yeah.
And it like concentrates your sweat to a certain area.
And I don't know if, like, everything that I've heard is that it's impossible to spot lose fat.
Yeah.
So to like pick a part of your body and be like, I want to work on losing belly fat, or I want to work on losing like arm fat. The way that the body works is like you operate at a caloric deficit and then you lose fat at whatever part of your body you're genetically most predisposed to lose that early fat at. But I don't know that you can like target a certain spot. All right, multi-level marketing, pyramid schemes, we're going to get into it. Not the same as a Ponzi scheme right off the bat. Different things. Ponzi scheme is an investment that you put in with somebody, and then they have to keep recruiting more and more people to pay off the payments on what your interests that you're achieving through their investment are until it collapses, and then everybody gets fucked like Bernie Madoff. This is a little bit different from that. Anybody here ever been? I don't think you guys have been in a multi-level marketing company, right? But we all know people who have.
My great-grandparents were like the largest Tupperware dealers in the Southeast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they traveled around and had the parties and shit?
Like they were big-time Tupperware.
Is Tupperware still around?
I think so, but I don't it used to be like a huge deal.
They still have the name recognition where if you have like a different piece of food storage equipment, you just call it Tupperware.
Right.
Like put the leftovers in this Tupperware. I don't have any Tupperware. I think I've got mine are Pyrex maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tupperware was huge. So your great grandparents were?
Yeah, but it was like a whole family business. Like everybody was involved. But they were like, from what I understand, they were like, as Tupperware families go, we were like one of the 5 families.
Really? Did they have like inventory in the garage?
I think they had like a warehouse.
Oh shit!
Because I've heard my mom and her cousins talk about like going and playing at the warehouse.
Would your family get free Tupperware?
I assume. I don't know.
What did people do before Tupperware?
No idea.
Tinfoil?
I guess.
Tupperware also probably really took off when everybody got microwaves. Just reheat that shit. Arian, do you know anybody that was involved or has been involved?
Oh yeah, there was this. When I was coming out of college, a bunch of the homies. I don't know how they got, but they did. They started. I guess this was like they started gaining prevalence. I guess. But there's this company called Zija. Zija, Ziga was a. It was like a little drink company, and they had these like little cans, and it was supposed to be like nutritional and yada yada. But like, they preyed upon like college kids to like, getting more and more people to sign up for it, and got a couple of the cats on the team when I was coming out. And so there's a couple of dudes that was trying to give me. I was like, I'll take some. I don't know what it is. I'll take some, but I'm not gonna go market this shit for y'all.
Yeah.
And so yeah, a bunch of dudes ended up selling Zija to everybody and trying to get you, hey man, look, you can make a lot of money, dog. Like all you gotta do is, see, you go out and recruit, you know what I'm saying? And they go out and recruit and you get a little percentage of what they do. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm straight.
They also try to flatter you when they get you involved. Like, you're a good businessman. I can tell that you're different from everybody, and you can make money for yourself. You don't have to go to work for somebody else. Like, this is something you can do. I'm not telling everybody about this. I'm just telling my friends that I think can do it. And you're one of those special humans.
Snake oil salesman.
Yeah. I'm like to say that I'm in the top 1% of people to identify which one of my friends are involved in multi-level marketing based on their posts on social media. I think I'm elite at that. Like, I can see it coming a mile away. If like a girl I went to high school with starts talking about how great she feels about herself and how she's like taking steps to improve her life and those around her, and how she's going into business for for herself, I can clock that a mile away.
Being your own boss.
Being your own boss. They love marketing themselves as like girl boss companies.
Mm-hmm.
CEOs. Yeah. Yeah. We're empowering each other. And yeah, I can see it coming a mile away. And then they post like all these videos. It's like, why are you posting like so many workout adjacent videos online when you're not really in great shape, but there's something weird going on here? Yeah. It's a weird feeling too, because you can see that they're going down a road that is ultimately probably going to make them lose money, as they're presenting themselves as being like something that they're not necessarily. I knew some friends that got involved in direct marketing too, like right out of college. And the reason for it is they hire just about anybody. So if you're looking for a job and somebody brings you in for an interview, you need money, and you're like, oh shit, I got an interview? Okay. Yeah, I'll see what this is all about. And then if you don't get out within the first like couple weeks, then you're signed up for like potentially years of getting fucked over by this company, and also maybe alienating a lot of your friends. Like high pressure direct sales. I knew a guy that right out of college, they brought him in for an interview, and they're like, okay, we sell office supplies. And my buddy was like, okay, all right, so what do I do? Well, we just go out to all these different companies and we just walk into offices and try to sell them shit. And so my buddy shadowed this guy for a day, and he would just burst open the front door, walk in and be like, you guys need new art on this wall, and just like point out shit. And he's like, wait, I thought that we sold like office supplies. He's like, yeah, anything in an office. He's like, this art's not good. You should buy some of my art that I'm selling. And he spent his first 2 days just getting kicked out of offices left and right. They're like, leave, sir. And then he was like, yeah, you know what? This seems like it's not great. Then you look it up online, you find out that the company that you're working for is a total scam and nobody makes any money off of it. But yeah, I've never been in a MLM, but I've seen what happens to people when they join, and it's not fun. I feel bad for people actually. But I guess the more that you know about it, the more you can like recognize the signs and stay away from it.
So what are some of the signs though?
All right, so well, right off the bat, we should define it a little bit. Yeah. They also call it network marketing. They can call it direct marketing, and it's when you sell products directly to consumers using independent sales representatives. So if somebody is trying to hire you to work for their MLM, what they'll do is they'll tell you okay, yeah, you're going to work downstream from me. I'm going to be your upstream, but you're going to be your own boss and your own business. So you're going to make as much money as your potential will take you. So they blame you and they make you feel bad if you're not making enough money because you're not putting enough into the job. They say, well, in order to get successful, you just have to work harder. You just have to buy in. You have to read all of our pamphlets, watch all of our videos, go to all of our business retreats, spend more time thinking about your business, and then you will eventually get to a place where you're making money. So they treat you like there's something wrong with you if you're not making money, which most jobs, here's a warning sign. Most reputable companies won't make you pay money to work for them. So what they'll do is they'll bring you in and say you can make as much money as you want. You're your own boss. Smash your alarm clock. You don't have to be working for anybody else. And if you follow these steps, you can reasonably expect to make $10,000 a month. So all you have to do, though, right off the bat, you have to get started, and you have to buy this amount of inventory. You have to buy this like training course that we're going to sell to you, and the training course costs $2,000. And then once you get trained, then you go into business for yourself. Then you start working towards making that $10,000 a month.
Hey, you know what this sounds like? Being a real estate agent.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Like I don't know all the ins and outs to being a real estate agent, but I know a few of them, and this is almost the template. So you go, you have to, take classes, which you have to pay for. You have to set it up, and then you're with an agency. Agencies recruit you, or you sell yourself to agencies, and then they'll say, okay, they'll start you out like, you lease apartments, you lease this, you lease that. Then I get a certain percentage off of every sale that you make. Like if the lease is at 1,600, I think you get like, I don't know, the first half or whatever it is for the rent, and then a certain percentage goes to either the agency or the broker above you, and then you supposed to get more business through that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this kind of sounds like the same thing.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience talking to people in real estate to know what that model's like, but
right.
Yeah, if you have to pay somebody for a book of business and then you have the opportunity to sell it, you better be damn sure that you can sell it and that it's something that you can accomplish.
All right.
I worked in a company for a few years that my job was to be a salesperson, and there was a company that we contracted with that was like a sales coaching organization where they would bring in salespeople from all these other companies and they would coach them. They would teach them about sales. And you had to buy like $2,000 worth of CDs you would listen to like get acquainted with the method that they were teaching you on how to sell stuff.
Oh, CD-ROMs. Oh.
Yeah. So I like drive around my car listening to the CDs. And I remember one on like the first day, I was like, okay, what's this company all about? And the head of the organization was like, you know what? For all you people that are starting the class, I'll tell you a little story about a student that I had. He came up to me the other day. He's been here for 6 months, and he said, I feel awful. I was like, what? Why do you feel awful? And he told me, I'm playing more golf than I've ever played before. I'm closing more deals than I ever have before. And I just look around at my coworkers, and they're not getting paid like I am, and I feel guilty about that. And then I was like, oh, fuck yeah. This is awesome. I can't wait to be as good as that guy. And, basically they have a very good way of talking to salespeople who are, by the way, some of the most insecure people. Like, speaking for myself and being around other salespeople, a lot of salespeople are super insecure because their job is directly tied in, like, with their paycheck. Their job performance is directly tied in with commissions and stuff. They're always worried that they're not going to close a deal. And they always have to be like selling themselves and asking people for things. And some people, that doesn't really work with what their personality is. So they get very insecure and they hear no all the time. And then that affects them as a person. So then they have to go back to the sales coach that will tell you and gas you up and make you feel good about being a salesperson again. So you get addicted to that like little ego boost that you get from the sales coach so that you can go back and do your job again. It was not necessarily multi-level marketing, but it was definitely very similar where they also had you like recruit other people sometimes. But yeah, they will talk to people multi-level marketing companies in general, they'll talk to people about how they can get super, super wealthy, how they can get independent from, working a 9 to 5 by working for yourself. And so this appeals mostly to women as opposed to men. So a disproportionate number of people who are employed by multi-level marketing or direct sales are women. I think it's like 70% are female, because a lot of times if there's a stay-at-home mom, she's trying to bring in some more business, trying to bring in some more money to the family, and work from home and work part-time whenever she can, they'll get signed up with an MLM because they offer you the promise of working from home and doing that by yourself. So they also, another good thing to watch out for, Arian, is they have little lingo that they use that you don't really hear anywhere else in the business world or in life. They come up with like their own names for who the boss is. Like, I'm not your boss, I'm just your upline. Or they'll have other things like that, little jargon that they indoctrinate you with. So then you feel like it's not necessarily a boss-employee relationship.
A cool boss.
Yeah, cool boss. I'm your upline, and I'll teach you how to be successful like me. And they tell the uplines to always present themselves like they're very, very successful to anybody that's downline of them. So according to the FTC, 99% of MLM participants ultimately lose money. So either they get out immediately after they get the training or whatever, the initial investment, or they spend months or years trying to work towards it, and they end up not actually making any money at all, despite the fact that they're presenting themselves as being like very successful. But what they like to do sometimes also is they take you to all these retreats, and they just try to make you spend as much time as possible thinking about the company and getting motivated to make more money for, your future book of business. And if you just put more time into working for us, then you will ultimately be successful.
What's the one that was going super viral the last few years, like around COVID? Madeline, you might know what.
Can I have like an industry or a product?
So I don't know what they do. I just know on TikTok there were people posting a bunch of videos about Forex. Does that sound right?
Forex is like foreign exchange, like trading in foreign currency. And a lot of those companies are like that, where they make you take their course to learn how to trade in foreign exchange. Also, just in general, foreign exchange markets. I know a lot of people that got involved in those in college, and it seems pretty simple. You just like invest in a foreign currency, and then you sell it at a profit when that currency goes up. People lose a fuckload of money doing that if they don't know what they're doing. Like, it's very rare that you'll make money if you don't have like a wider business sense outside of that.
This is a Reddit post from a few years ago. My sister attended a Forex trading meeting at her boyfriend's friend's house last night, who apparently has made tons of money from doing very little, is now traveling the world, and etc. She then told us there was a $200 startup fee for the software. Then she said there's a $160 monthly subscription that could be canceled if, wait for it, you recruit 3 people. Has anyone had experience with the Forex MLM before? I think that's what it was.
There was another one that during COVID, they sold like home nutrition stuff. They market themselves as like a weight loss company. And during COVID, they would say, this is actually a great time to be in business with us because all of our products, they've been shown to reduce the mortality of COVID. And they got in big trouble for that.
I was going to say, can you just say that?
Yeah, they did. That's what they did. And then eventually they got caught up to. So there are some rules about how multi-level marketing organizations are regulated by the government. So they're not pyramid schemes. They're a little bit different from pyramid schemes. A lot of MLMs start out as pyramid schemes, and then they get found out they have to shut down. But there are some MLM companies that are not technically pyramid schemes, even though they do have the same structure of person at the top recruits 2 people. Those 2 people then work for the person at the top. They share commissions. Then they recruit 2 people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a pyramid structure. But the difference in the eyes of the government is that there's a 70% rule. So at least 70% of the goods have to be purchased by non-distributors. So what I mean by that, like Big T, let's say I sold weight loss tea, right? And if we're going to be buying and selling this weight loss tea, I would have to make 70% of my money from goods that are sold in like stores or retailers. I can't just make 70% of my profits on that based on like what I sell to you.
I understood the first time.
Or like what you sell. I'm explaining it for the listeners out there.
No, yeah. I think they're smart.
They get it.
I think they got it.
But the problem with that is it's very hard to track. So the CEO of TBGA, which is a branding and marketing support agency, says it's impossible to track if a distributor has stashed unsold products in their garage or closet. So somebody could be buying all this shit, doing the orders on their own, and then like keeping all the shit to sell later, but they're paying for it to get the inventory and to show that they're making sales, but they're just actually buying it themselves.
If you care that deeply, you should do whatever you want.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, if you're that into Amway, go for it.
Yeah, they say even if a distributor was clearing 70% of their inventory in a given month, the financial freedom offered by many MLMs simply cannot be achieved through direct sales alone. When you analyze the compensation plans, the real money is made from recruiting other people. So instead of just talking about multi-level marketing, let's get somebody involved who has spent time in multi-level marketing companies. It is Barstool coworker Nicky Smokes. We got the Cars.com Employee of the Month parking spot out front. I don't know if Smokes is in the conversation for that this month. I know that it was Titus, but it's a great spot, and Cars.com is the perfect place to check your car's value. And if you're trying to find a trustworthy dealer, you can find dealership reviews from shoppers just like you. Cars.com has the latest research, shopping tools, dealership reviews to help every shopper find the perfect car. You can shop by monthly payment, or you can filter by features to find the cars that fit your budget and fit your needs. Visit Cars.com. Start exploring your next possibility today on Cars.com. Okay, we welcome on a special guest of Macrodosing. It's Nicky Smokes. Mr. Smokes, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
So today we're talking about multi-level marketing, and I put out a tweet, Macrodosing put out a tweet yesterday saying, if anybody at Barstool has experience working in multi-level marketing or a pyramid scheme, let us know. And I tweeted about it as well, and almost all my replies tagged one of three people. Can you guess who the three people that they suggested were?
Me, Jerry, Mincy.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I was going to ask why you picked me out of all people.
You nailed it. So, well, I asked Jerry if he wanted to come on yesterday, and Jerry is very busy right now on Wednesday, so he can't do it. But I don't know if Jerry's been involved in one. He might have, but he also, he worked construction for a while. He had that 9 to 5, or I guess 5 to whenever the union told him that he could get off work. So I don't know if he's been in one. Mincy strikes me as a guy that might have been in one, but like done a really, really bad job. And like Mincy might have gotten fired from multi-level marketing,
which is crazy,
for not showing up to work. It's like, dude, you're supposed to be going door to door selling these knives. Why are you at a Fish concert?
Yep.
But then you were the only one that I texted. So I texted Nicky Smokes this morning, just curious if you ever been in one. And you got back to me immediately, and you said, yeah, 2. I've been in 2 of them.
You named both of them.
Yeah. And listen, I think a lot of people out there at some point in their lives, they get involved or they're in the orbit of somebody that's in these. And a lot of people have like experimented with them in college or whatever. When you need some money, you need some quick cash. So it's not like it's a shameful thing because they're so prevalent and they're everywhere. And you can make some money, especially if you're like a young kid. I know several people that did the knife sales thing, where you go hang out with like your friend's parents, show them the knife. So I understand that's one of the ones that you're involved with.
Yeah.
Right?
So
how'd they recruit you?
That's the thing is that, so the first one, I think I was 18. I had just came back from Florida State, and I wanted to take a semester off. My dad was like, no, like you're not moving home and not getting a job. So he's like, go find a job. So I think I went on LinkedIn or whatever those job searching things are, and they're like, all right, if you're 18 through 22, like hit us up, we're hiring now, like we love working with college kids, whatever. I'm like, all right, perfect, this is great. So I sign up and I go in for the interview, and this lady's interviewing before me. She's like 34 years old. They tell her to kick rocks, and then I come in, they hire me, and this guy's like cutting pennies with these knives, blah 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 blah. and he was showing me like all these paychecks that people were getting. I'm like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, I'm in.
So they did like a sales presentation for you
Yeah,
to get you
they-
You have
excited
to
about the
interview for Cutco Knives.
Yes.
My understanding is that they give the position to anybody that has a heartbeat.
Right.
That was mine as well.
Well,
And Nicky Smokes,
there's an-
5-star MLM recruit.
Yes.
Yeah, and look, I'm very self-aware. I know how naive I can be. Like, I didn't even think it was a pyramid scheme. Like, I didn't even know what that was at the time.
Mhm.
I was just like, okay, I got hired. Like, this is great, and like I was all fired up, whatever. But yeah, so they sat me in, and they had like a penny, a rope, this, that, and they're showing me this knife can't cut this rope, but this knife can, and then this scissor can't cut this penny in half, but this, like, the scissor that I would sell can, and so they basically just walk you through that whole thing, and then they kind of just use you to sell to all your immediate like family, friends, and then once you kind of run out of that pipeline, you're like, oh, how the fuck am I going to get leads to go to people's house and sell them knives?
Yeah. So they hire you pretty much right on the spot.
Yeah. And it was like an 8-hour training day so once I got hired from that, it went straight into, okay, like now we're going to teach you this whole presentation in 6 hours.
Okay. Now, did you get any money? Like, was there a signing bonus, anything like that?
No signing bonus, but I did get a nice commission check once. I think I made like $1,200, and then after that, it just went down. And then once I ran out of people to call my contacts, that was it.
So it's like a summer job for kids that are home from college.
Yeah,
pretty
I'd
much.
say so.
Like, go door to door. You can be your own boss essentially, and make some money for the summertime.
Yeah, there was no like punch in, punch out. You kind of just set your own appointments. And then each appointment, you'd get $15 for every appointment. And then you'd have to like call the guy, tell him how the sale's going, blah, 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 back and forth. So at some point, I was just making fake appointments up and just like, yeah, no, they don't want it. Yeah, they don't want it. He's like, well, try to get them on this knife, get them on that knife. I'm like, nah, they just don't want it. And I was just racking up fake appointments.
I love that. Yeah. So you get the job. You go through 8-hour training, and they like show you, okay, here's the different things that will impress people with the knives.
Exactly.
And do they teach you like how to ask for the order, how to ask for them, like how to close the deal?
Yeah. So like, let's say I go to someone's house and they don't want the whole set, but they only want 3 knives. You call the guy, and then he'll give you like this closing pitch almost like, all right, well, try to get them on this 5 set first. And then if they really don't do that, just take the 3, take the credit card down, and like, that's it.
Okay. And did you have fun doing it?
No, it was miserable, and it was so awkward, like walking into someone's house that I know with just this bag of knives and scissors, and I'm just like, oh, watch me cut this penny, watch me cut this rope. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
It was very awkward.
Like if a cop had pulled you over and you just had knives on you, do you think they would have been like a knife salesman, or would they have been like criminal?
I think they would have thought knife salesman, because they did make you dress up. Like, I probably dress better at the pyramid scheme than I do here. And they give you a nice little packet to put your knives in that has Cutco on it.
Okay,
so you don't look like a serial killer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm gonna start buying knives.
How were
the knives were fire, and to this day, my brother still has them, and they're amazing. Like, they do work well. I'll give them that, and they hold up. So
I feel like parents of college kids, that's at prime knife buying age, because like you've got kids in the house growing up. You probably got a good set, when the kids were super, super young, and then you probably never updated your knife set until they go off to college, and they're like, hey, as a matter of fact, I need new knives.
I don't think I would ever update my knife set.
Oh, you got to update the knives.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't in a long time, but...
Well, with Cutco, you get a lifetime guarantee.
Is that true?
Anytime you need them resharpened, you just send them in, they send them back out.
Are you still working for Cutco right now?
I might be right now.
That would be actually very
What a set of Cutco knives run?
Like $1,200.
US?
Yeah, USD, bro. Yeah. Shout out my brother.
He's the only one for that answer.
One of the bread knives was like $150, $200.
That's something that, like, as an adult, you just don't think about the things you'll have to spend money on.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I have to buy knives, and then knives are $1,200.
Now, to be fair, they are the most expensive knives probably in the country.
Really?
Top of the line.
You could get a set of knives for like $300-$400 that are fine.
Yeah, like Target.
Yeah.
But like top notch though, like, because when you start cooking, to Big T's point, when you start cooking, like, knives become pretty important, and they actually say it's more dangerous to cut with dull knives than it is sharp knives. And so, like, when you get around, like when you got real chefs and stuff that can actually throw down in the kitchen, you can get around like $3K, $4K for some top quality knives, like a whole.
Yeah, I feel like these are some of the sharpest knives that you would have in like a casual cooking house environment. I'm sure Chef Donnie has like a $5,000.
He probably has
knives.
Cutco knives.
I'm gonna ask him. Do you think so?
He might. I know a couple people that had them, and I didn't even sell them to them. So,
19-piece Cutco knife set that you can apparently just buy on Amazon now. I don't know what that's doing to their business, but that will run you $1,600.
yep.
Damn.
Told you. It was funny. So when I went back home to Boca to visit my family, and I was on FAU campus, and the guy that I used to work for at that company saw me walking down the hallway. He's like, "Hey, come check us out." I'm like, "Dude, I already worked for you. Like, I worked for you 2 years ago."
So when you would sell these knives, you would get a commission check.
Yeah.
Then would you kick it up to the guy that hired you? Like, does he get a cut of whatever you sell?
I'm sure he probably already got his cut before I got my commission check.
Okay. And I feel like Cutco might be more direct sales than it is multi-level marketing, where, in multi-level marketing, you go out, you recruit people, and then you get a taste of whatever they sell. So was that part of the equation?
Yeah,
at all?
I mean, they definitely go out and recruit you.
Did they tell you to recruit people too?
Yeah. Oh my God, I have a funny story about that. So they said they'd give us like $150 if we sent like a text to 10 people on our phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what software they had, but all the names were selected in my phone. And I thought that meant they weren't going to get the text because there were so many. I was like, there's no way they're going to blast mail all this to all my friends.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I sent over 250 texts to everyone in my phone. And they're like, yo, did you like recommend me for this job or some shit? And like, these are people I haven't talked to in years. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. So yeah, no, they recruit, they get you to send these spam texts to get them in. Yeah, it's crazy.
How much would we have to pay you right now to just send a text to every single contact that you have in your phone? Like that makes me feel uncomfortable if just the thought of somebody doing that in my phone.
Right. Well, it was like an app. I don't know how they did it, but it was just like you clicked your contacts and then like it was all selected and then it just mass text them instantly.
And you thought they were selecting all the people they weren't sending texts?
Yeah,
to.
I thought you'd have to like go in. So like I went in and unselected 10 people because I think that makes more sense than me having to go through all my contacts and like unselect. And it turns out I was wrong.
All right. So you make what, like $1,500?
Yeah. I think my first check was like $1,200 and then it would be like $600, $500. And then I just started running out of people that I felt comfortable selling knives to.
How did you do in the presentation?
My presentation was pretty solid.
I can see that.
My presentation was good. I was always good with presenting in sales, school, all that shit. So it was rock solid.
Did you sleep with any of the moms that you were presenting the knives to?
Nah, because they're my friends.
Okay.
My friends' moms.
Like that would make a difference.
It would. I have certain boundaries sometimes. But nah, they weren't that hot. Anyway.
Yeah, your boundaries 7 or below.
Yeah, if she was like a 9 or 10, yeah, I would have tried my best.
So yeah. Tell me about your presentation skills. What do you do?
So with Cutco, it was basically show and tell. So they would give me this rope. And I'd be like, yo, Big T, give me the knife that you have in your kitchen. Your shit's probably dull. It's not as sharp. So I would try to cut the rope. It wouldn't work. So then I pull out this knife. I'm like, well, look at our knife. Boom, boom, boom. Cuts the rope right in half. Boom, done. And then they did the same thing with scissors and like a rotten penny. And I did the presentation to my dad once. And my dad doesn't fuck around with his knives. Like every single one of those motherfuckers are sharpened every day. So I did the rope thing with his knife and it cut right through it.
Yeah.
And I froze. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to like. He ruined my whole presentation. So that happened a couple times. But outside of that, it was basically they would just give us certain items and I would either cut them, slice them. I'm like, oh, look at this compared to yours. And that's kind of how that went.
Nicky Smokes, knife salesman.
Yeah. And then the other one that you mentioned was Amway.
Yeah.
Now that was the wildest experience I've ever had in terms of like a job.
All right, so tell me, had you heard of Amway before?
No, I was living in Orlando when they recruited me, and I didn't even know the Amway Center was named after the company Amway.
Yeah. So how did you get involved?
So the kid I was living with at the time, he went to the gym, and one of the guys I was working with that company went up to him and was like, hey, I like your shoes. And like that's how he got into like start talking with him. So he gets my roommate in. And then again, like I'm broke as fuck in college working at Duffy's, making like $150 a week, whatever. And he's like, yo, fuck that. Like, come work with me. I'm like, all right. So then I hopped into Amway. And then
if a random dude comes up to you and compliments you and just strikes up a conversation, that should be a red flag.
it should
right?
be 100%. Like, I don't know why my roommate didn't catch that, but
Yeah.
I don't like when you're in college and you're broke and someone's like, "Yo, you could start making some serious money." You're kind of just down for
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm down for whatever.
Right.
So your roommate tells you, come work with me, make some real money.
Yeah. And mind you, like at Amway, it takes time to make money, and just going through the whole process is crazy. So once he brought me on board, they would have these seminars of people coming up and explaining the whole thing. And then you would have this mentor, and this mentor would send you these people's testimonials, and you'd have to listen to all of them. And then he'd like ask for a recap on the testimonial. Like, what did you learn from it? And it was very weird.
Wait, hang on. A giant fucking bug just crawled across the wall. You see that
Oh
big
my
thing?
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was over on this wall
It's
earlier.
huge.
want me to
I'm
kill
gonna
it?
I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
They're kind of walking all over the office now.
It's a huge bug.
What kind of bug
I'm
is
gonna
it?
guess a centipede.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that.
All right, he's dead.
Get his ass, Smokes.
All right. Good
I
job,
got a
Smokes.
body in the macrodosing.
Good job, Smokes.
Caught my first body. Yeah, so anyway, back with Amway, they would just send you all these testimonials, and this mentor's like texting you and calling you 3, 4, 5 times a day, like just trying to keep you motivated and like buy into the fucking scam that they run. And I'll never forget. So Amway like sells their own products like chips, waters.
Yeah.
So his whole sale to me was he would give me the Amway chips, and he'd be like, "Yo, did you like how they tasted?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're all right." He's like, "No, they taste great. They taste like money." Because essentially like you're buying from your own store that is going to one day make because they have like diamond, triple diamond, platinum, like
Yeah.
it'll like up your tier, and then like you make money off that.
Yeah, so they make more money when they sell their in-house shit.
Correct.
And the guy was like trying to convince you to buy your own product
Mm-hmm.
because then you would make money. So you don't make money off that obviously because you're spending money on your own product.
Right. But
But
they're
you
like, if you're
get a
going to spend
discount.
your money at Costco, why not spend it in your own company,
Yeah.
Amway? And then I guess you're trying to get people to buy shit through your company, which is just,
So you get texts multiple times a day like encouraging you to buy more chips.
yeah.
Or not really that's what it boils down to, but the texts were just like keeping you motivated to be a businessman.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't the worst thing in the world, but like some of the testimonials were like 2 hours long of people just spewing this bullshit about Amway.
They try to keep you like invested with as much time as possible thinking about the company.
Correct.
Right.
And they do a good job of that. I'll give them that.
Yeah. So how long did you work for Amway?
Amway, I did about 3 months.
And did you try to recruit other people?
No, I did not. And I knew I wasn't going to do it because I was supposed to have a meeting with my mentor, but it was college football Saturday and I just missed it. And he called me, like blew up. He's like, you have to be accountable. Like, there's no way this is going to work if you're not taking it serious, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it's college football Saturday. Like, I'm going to the fucking tailgate. Like, I'm not going to this meeting.
Good for you.
And then that's how I quit. That was it.
Good for you. Stood up for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were probably pissed off that you weren't trying to recruit people too.
Yeah, that too. I never understood what a pyramid scheme was until I think that's like when my eyes opened. I was like, oh, I kind of see what this is.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's a real company.
Right. And I didn't even know Cutco was like a pyramid scheme until like 2 years after I did it.
So with Amway, when you're selling these products and your boss is like your mentor is encouraging you to like go out, do more. Did you get the sense that your mentor was actually making money?
Yes. And look, at least the way he presented himself, like he always had like a nice suit on,
Yeah.
always had a nice watch on. So in my eyes, I'm 20 years old. Like I said, making $150 a week. I'm like, all right, like this guy looks like he at least looks the part.
Yeah.
And he did have like me, my roommate, and like 5, 6 other kids under him. So in my head, I was like, all right, he has to be making some type of money.
With guys like that are like all in on their schemes, that are trying to recruit new people, like constantly think about their business. I feel like they'd just be impossible to hang out with as friends. Like, is it possible for that guy to have a friend that he's not trying to recruit?
No. Like, no. It is like you're either on this team or like he's not fucking with you.
Yeah.
And he told me that.
Yeah.
It's like the only people I associate with are the people I do business with.
Yeah. Aaron, you got any questions for Smokes?
That's a big fucking red flag right there.
Yep.
Can you hear me? When did you start to realize it was like scammy? Like what made you turn the page and like, hold on, man, what am I doing here?
It's a good question. Probably because Amway and Cutco were somewhat the same, as in like once you got through your family, like they stopped really giving a fuck. And that's where I was kind of like, okay, well, this kind of seems like rinse and wash. It's like, all right, get the intermediate family, get his friends, get this, get that. And then boom, like let him go like back out into the world and do whatever the fuck he wants. So I think that's basically what it is. And then just like the whole setup, because it's like, oh, well, now you have to hit this tier to get this, and then you have to hit this tier. I don't know. It just all seemed kind of fugazi.
So when you left, nobody would like try to get you back in?
No, like once you were gone, like you were done. Like they took the money out of you. Like they got what they wanted, and like boom.
Did you ever get any requests to go to like their retreats? The big
Yeah,
meetings
I went to one of them for Amway because it was based right in my neighborhood clubhouse, ironically. So I went to that, and it was like 4.5 hours long, and I fell asleep in the meeting, and my mentor at the time saw it, and like then again, like he ripped me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was just boom.
I love that, Smokes. Too mentally strong for Amway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting through a 4.5 hour conference with these people talking about, yeah, you got to get the platinum diamond to start really making money and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, all they talk about, they just constantly use their company jargon.
Yes.
Like, we're all going diamond.
Yeah.
Everybody
everything
clap.
is fucking diamond.
Everybody
diamond,
clap
platinum.
until we get to diamond. Yeah. Big T, you got any questions?
No, I think I've got a pretty good image of Smokes doing MLM.
Actually have my brother took a picture of me like selling him the knives. I could send you guys that.
Please do. I would love to see that. How many years ago was this?
I'm 25, so 7 years ago.
Okay, not that long ago.
No.
Full head of hair.
Yeah.
Are you excited about Turkey?
I can't wait for Turkey.
So Smokes is going to Turkey, Arian, to get the hair stuff done.
I need it.
Smokes is going what?
He's going to Turkey to get the hair stuff done.
Turkey's trash.
No, it's not.
No. He's going to the country.
Oh! You said, okay, I'm fucking up. You said Smokes is doing a turkey. And I was like, okay. That's what I heard.
Oh, you're thinking like I'm
Like
going to smoke
we
a
talked
Thanksgiving.
the
I
other
thought you were
day
smoking
about
turkey.
the food.
That is kind of confusing this time of year. When are you going?
I'm going the day after Thanksgiving.
You're getting your turkey after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Leftover turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have anything against the Turkish people. I thought they were talking about the meat.
Aren't they? They're turkey-yay now. They don't want to be turkey.
Yeah, it's with a TURIKY.
No, TURKIYE.
Yeah,
think.
turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to be turkey any. They're it's always turkey.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, Smokes.
Thank you.
Y'all flying coach?
No, we just upgraded to first class for $80 Turkish.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
How-
well,
what
in Turkish it's like 2,000, but in American dollars it's $80.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, so me and Rudy upgraded, and White Sox Dave did, and we're actually going with 8 stoolies as well.
Okay.
So it's me, Rudy, Eddie, White Sox Dave, Ken Jack, Wonton, but only 5 of us are getting that procedure. Wonton's just going to film,
Yeah.
and then 8 random stoolies are going to get hair transplants.
Does
as
Rudy
well.
need that?
Yeah, Rudy's bad up here.
It's got a spot.
Yeah, he's got
Spinning,
a spot. Yeah.
You know how you see like college football coaches on the sidelines when the camera angle is up at that, the high thing looking down, and you're like, okay, this guy's not bald, but it's happening. You can tell it's happening. That's what Rudy's got, but he's getting ahead of it.
Love that.
No
How
pun
long's that
intended.
flight?
12 hours.
That's an awesome first class upgrade then.
Yeah, we needed it.
Are they like the lay down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I think so. Rudy's like, yo, we could upgrade to first class for $80. I said, all right, just do it.
Turkish Air?
Yeah, Turkish Air.
Okay, you're going to love the food.
Am I?
They got good food there, yeah.
I love food, so.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, good luck with that, Smokes.
Thank you, brother.
Any words of advice for anybody out there that, like, red flags they should look out for? Are you in a multi-level marketing organization right now?
Yeah, if a random dude walks up to you and says, I like your shoes, run. And if anyone asks you, do you want to sell knives, say no.
Well, yeah. People do need to buy knives, though.
Yeah, but just don't if people are walking into your house or knocking on your door to sell you knives, the answer is no.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is don't let a stranger into your house with knives.
Yes.
Ever.
Correct.
Yeah,
And-
they should do that with guns.
Yeah.
There should be a gun door-to-door salesman.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, you could probably get away with that in Florida too.
Florida, Texas, anywhere down south.
Yeah,
probably.
let me see your gun, sir. You think this gun will shoot through this rope? Our guns can.
That might be a good video.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go door to door, sell some guns?
Me and you in
Yeah.
Chicago?
Not here. They throw you in prison and throw away the key.
We could do it in Florida.
Yeah.
We'll do it in Florida. We'll go around like this.
Somewhere where they respect the Constitution.
Chef Donnie says that his knives run about $2,000 each.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
they're Japanese knives.
Each?
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Wait, like per knife?
He says I have individual ones that I got in Japan that I use, but no full set. So he probably has like I guess 3 or 4 knives.
That's nuts.
No, chefs, they don't fuck around.
I mean, I would assume not. I just didn't know knives were costing that much.
Yeah, your toolkit, man. Got to take pride in that. All right, thank you, Smokes.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
And I got one more piece of advice for anyone out there, and I'll leave after this.
Okay.
If you are between the ages of 18 and 22 and you're looking to score with older women, become a barista at Starbucks. It was the greatest time of my life.
Oh,
And I'll leave
okay.
you with that.
Wait, hang on. Go on.
So I quit the Amway shit,
Mhm.
and it's like, you know what? I just want a simple, real job. And I was like, I love Starbucks. So I went to Starbucks. They hired me. And every morning I would just sit there, flirt with these MILFs, make them their lattes, get free coffees, free food, like free Starbucks. I'd have my boys pull up, just giving them free shit.
Yo, there's a hot chick in here right now. Get over to Starbucks.
Yeah. And bro, I'm telling you, like the girls that would walk in there, especially the moms, it was, I loved it.
What was your line? How would you approach them? Like,
Well,
you want me to make
first,
this extra strong for
I would
you, and you
rem- I
dump
would-
a little cocaine in there?
I would remember their name.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's a big one.
I'd start to remember their order, and then I'd be like, I already know what you want. So I'd put the order in, and then I just start talking to them.
Then they feel special.
Yeah, and they go,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're the best. You're so sweet." And then like I'll be like, "Yo, here's like an extra shot of espresso," or like, "Here, like, don't worry about it. I got you."
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it was going down.
Would you write down their names and their orders?
No, so like now they print it out, but I love
No, I mean like to remember.
no, because Starbucks and women. It's just they're in there every day like clockwork. So like after the third, fourth day, you just know exactly who they are, and it was great, and it was to the point where because they'd either have you on the cash register putting in the orders, on the oven putting in the food, or the barista bar, and working the bar was so stressful that I would purposely start fucking drinks up so they wouldn't put me over there. So after like 2 weeks of nonstop fucking up on purpose, they're like, you could just work the register. I'm
Yeah,
like,
front of house.
Yes.
You're a front of house guy.
Yes. And
Yeah,
it was,
greet the customer, treat the customer like they're special.
Yep.
That's your specialty. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations. That sounds
Thank
like
you. Appreciate
a
you
fun
guys.
time.
Gators money line this weekend.
We need them. Need them.
We need it.
Thanks, boys.
All right. Thanks, Smokes. Smokes at a Starbucks fishing with dynamite.
That checks out.
Remember their names. Remember their orders.
Did you hear him?
What did he say?
Said I was electric.
I mean, it's actually not bad advice. Women love it when you remember their names, something about them. They feel special.
Yeah, that's classic Smokes.
Classic Smokes. Nicky Smokes is brought to you by DraftKings. The NBA is finally back. Here's a way to get even more into the action following your favorite players. You can play Pick 6 from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. It's super simple to get started. First, you download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, then select 2 or more players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, three-pointers, more. You can track your picks for a shot at huge cash prizes. That's all there is to it. Pick 6 is available in most states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, and more. For all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5. You get $50 in Pick 6 cred. So even if you're in a state like California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, you can play Pick 6 on DraftKings. Hoop it up all season long with the newest, most fun way to play fantasy sports. Pick 6 from DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app, the Pick 6 app today. DraftKings Pick 6 app. Download it. Use code MACRO. That's code MACRO for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits only on DraftKings. Pick 6, the crown is yours. So a few examples. Amway. Amway is like one of the original multi-level marketing companies. That's where the Orlando Magic play in the Amway Arena. And it's short for the American Way. That's what the original name of the company was.
I like that.
The American Way?
Yeah.
It's a good name for a company, right?
Patriotic.
Yeah, Amway is a good name, good company name. They are in Ada, Michigan, and their headquarters are a mile long from east to west. It's a big-ass office. They have 80 buildings, 3.5 million square feet of manufacturing and office space there. It was started by Richard DeVos, and his son is married to Betsy DeVos. You might remember her as former education secretary. So that she's a billionaire, and that's where she got a lot of her money from. So Richard DeVos and Jay Van Andel started in direct marketing with Nutrilite, and they were so good at it, working for Nutrilite, that they said, fuck it, let's just start our own multi-level company. What would you sell, Big T?
I don't know. I was just thinking about we should try to start one.
Your Big T.
Right.
Sell tea. Just call it Big T.
I don't like tea, though. My heart wouldn't be in it.
Okay.
Arian, what do you think if we started an MLM we could sell?
Ooh, that'd be tough.
I don't think it is as hard as you think.
I don't know that I could, bro.
Something golf related for Arian.
I don't know that I could though.
Diapers.
Fuck no.
Okay. I didn't say like.
Yeah, I don't think I could, man. Honestly,
Like-
I'm like a good dude, bro. I can't scam people.
Like, I'm not saying baby diapers. I'm not saying like adult bladder issue diapers. I'm selling diapers to lazy people. They just don't feel like getting up.
That seems like a terrible idea.
They said that about a lot of companies.
No, I'm saying, like, do you think there's a market out there for people who want to just shit their pants?
You make the market. No, the number one only.
Okay.
Only pee diapers.
Still,
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Nah.
You ever been to a sports game and the line is like a mile long?
Yeah.
But then you just sit and you're pissed for the game. You gonna smell like this is a horrible idea.
Scented diapers. It smells good.
Battle at Bristol was a nightmare.
How long was that bathroom line?
There's no telling. We went to get a water and missed half the third quarter, and we left at the beginning of halftime.
It's tough, but
Yeah.
it's a big ass stadium too, right?
Yeah, it was terrible. Awful experience.
Yeah. Amway has $8 billion in revenue right now, selling health, beauty, home care products. They're in 100 countries. They have 15,000 employees. They don't publish how many distributors it has, but a lot of people say between 3 and 4 million people worldwide. Forbes says they're the 70th largest privately held company in the United States by revenue. Pretty big company. They have had legal trouble. They paid $34 million in cash in a fine in 2010, and they had to provide $22 million worth of products because of a class action lawsuit. They said that they operated an illegal pyramid scheme. They said that they used unfair, illegal business practices that misled distributors about their ability to make money and how much it would cost to be part of the business. There's also Herbalife. You guys have seen Herbalife?
That's a big
Yeah.
ladies love the Herbalife.
Real quick, just before you move on. So I'm on Amway's website because I didn't know what they sell, and they kind of just sell everything. But you can just buy stuff on their website. So what is the benefit now of having these door-to-door?
To spread the word for them, because I don't think Amway is selling a lot of products because their products are superior.
I agree.
Right? Like most companies that sell shit online, they sell it because like word of mouth, you like the product, you want to buy it online. With Amway, I feel like their brand awareness and their product awareness is mostly through the people that are working for Amway as like independent business owners.
How has Amazon not just killed every one of these businesses?
Because they have boots on the ground, like evangelists telling people buy from us our products are better. Oh, and also, if you become a distributor, then you can make money too.
Yeah,
Amazon kind of does that with affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Where they have like, links on websites. By the way, I have a question about advertising on websites. Who buys the shit and who clicks on the links that are at the bottom of every page? You know, the real like shady weird ones that aren't real?
I don't know.
Who's out there? Like, go
Old
to
people?
what? Yeah, old people. Go to like Fox or CNN.com.
I went to ESPN.
ESPN.
Or like if you have a recipe,
Yeah.
like the ads on those.
Yeah, who's clicking on the pop-up ads and actually getting their credit card out?
Which Power Ranger are you?
Yeah. Or who's going to a website and they see an ad for like this one simple trick will increase your REM in your sleep, and there's a picture of like an old guy wearing an onion in his sock, and then you click on that and then you give money to the onion in the sock people.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
don't know if
I
anyone
think
is.
old people or little kids like that have access to a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like some of those is like you click on them accidentally and then they now give you like a virus or something.
Yeah.
That also might be a part of it.
Or the people that are the bots that are like on Instagram DMing you with all the heart emojis.
Yeah,
That
I don't
one
know what that
kills
game
me,
is.
though. That one kills me because it's so funny. It'd be like some person with 0 followers following 1,000 people say, "Hey, I'm lonely in town tonight and I'm new. Care to take me?" Like, who is following for this shit? You can't be that horny, dog. There's no way.
I think you're underestimating how horny people are.
But
No
even
way.
if, even so, like you just
way.
have to have a lick of common sense.
You got to be horny and dumb as shit. Both.
Do you think that they're trying to get laid, or do you think they're just trying to see a naked picture?
You can Google naked picture.
Yeah, I know.
today. It's free. I don't like why. I'm genuinely confused if you getting got by these bots. That's so bad.
Okay, I'm gonna do as an experiment. I'm gonna reply to one of them right now and see what.
I think. Hold on, before you do, I think that opens you up to an algorithm of more. It's like if you fuck with him, it puts you on a list of like, oh, he's susceptible. I know that's how spam calls work. As I can open my DMs right now, I guarantee you.
I'm also afraid of clicking on a link and then I get hacked.
I think Apple's really good at that. That is a thing that happens on PC. I have a PC for this computer I'm on right now is a PC, and it's really a gaming computer. And one time I downloaded this, it was this, I guess it was like a gaming kind of thing to help I have something called a Raspberry, and a Raspberry basically it's like this little device that you can play like all the old school games on. It has like thousands of games on it, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all this. It's really dope. But I downloaded something to have like an extra thing on it. Anyway, it was a scam, and it ended up being a virus. And I ended up having the dude that helped me with my original PC. He walked me through on the phone. It was like 2.5 hours on how to get rid of the virus. And it was actually a fascinating experience because that shit was Chinese to me. I had no idea what it was, but he was walking through, and somebody to be able to do this is fascinating and it's very talented, but like you have to be a psycho in order to implement this. So like the virus that I got was basically it like kept opening this program, and like every time I would go to Google, it would send me back to like Yahoo on this one main page to like try to sell me something. And every time I would try to delete the file, if I put it in the deleted folder, it would regenerate at another place and I had to find it. And so I had to like manually go in, and people who are savvy with this shit deal with this shit all the time. And it was just fascinating to me that somebody could implant a code in a foreign computer that can keep regenerating something unwanted. It was actually fascinating, but also like you're a psycho if you develop this shit.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Bad person.
Can you say the name one more time of the company that's Google's competitor?
Yahoo?
I've just never heard anybody say that. I find it amusing.
Yahoo?
What do you say?
Most people put the emphasis on the first syllable, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
But
Yeah,
I like yours
it.
better.
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Yahoo!
It's
like
I never thought
Mario.
about
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay, I'm looking at the DMs right now. Most of them just have links to cams, so I'm not replying to those.
I literally got one an hour ago. At 60px625347 sent me a photo of some breasts. Said Fino rubbing her big breasts. Come on, let me come. Let you command me. Find me here on this website that I'm definitely not clicking. My ID. Make a video call to me. I want to rub it. I want you to rub it. It will be more comfortable that way. Who falls for this type of shit? Dog? Click this link. Head ass.
Actually, all the DMs right now are from people sending me this clip of a 6'5" 10-year-old saying he would beat my ass.
Jace. Yeah.
Should we try to make that happen?
I had someone text me that like I know, and they were like, "You need to get Jace on." Who is this kid?
That'd be electric.
Is it this kid right here?
I mean, I can't
Oh wait,
imagine.
no, that's different. Someone DM'd me that one too.
Yeah, there's a basketball player.
Jace, I googled, and I don't know if it's a large white kid who is a bit chunky.
Yeah, I would take Jace. I'm not afraid of Jace. This 6'5" 10-year-old basketball player, he moves pretty quick. I also don't think he's 10. This kid's not 10. The competition that he's playing against, they're not 10-year-olds.
How old do you think this kid
I think this kid is 12 or 13. I was just swatting kids into the fifth row. Yeah, I won't fight that kid.
Jace?
No, I will fight Jace. I won't fight the basketball player. He's
I
too
will
old.
fight Jace.
How do we legally get you to fight Jace? How does that work?
I mean, it's only if Jace challenges me, really. I don't want to like provoke him,
Right.
and be like, I'll beat the fuck out of you, Jace. But
No, I think that'd put you in jail.
yeah, but if he thinks he could take me, then like let's talk about it. Some other companies we're talking about, Amway and then Herbalife. Does Herbalife still sponsor the Los Angeles MLS team?
It's possible. I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know if they do anymore.
Were they the Galaxy?
I believe so.
So why is Utah known as the capital of multi-level marketing?
Yes, they do.
They do?
Mormons.
Mormons? That's the answer.
I believe so.
Is that an MLM?
Mormons are not an MLM.
Well,
Well.
they do go door-to-door recruiting.
Is religion MLM?
High key.
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do they get paid? Like if there's a Jehovah's Witness at your door?
Like, do they get paid for recruiting you?
Yeah.
No,
I
they.
don't think
I think they
so.
do it. I think it's all for the love of the game.
The
That's why
Mormons
they
who
get
go
paid.
on the 2-year missions, how are they getting paid? Like, how are they living?
They are.
The Lord provides.
They stay in like these like houses. So every mission, like chapter, which is like the cities that you go to, has a place for them to go. So they all live there together. So like if you were a Mormon and you got sent to your mission in Dallas, Texas, there is a like center in Dallas, Texas for the missionaries. And that's where you live and eat and everything, like a little like campus almost.
And they have those all over the world?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Also, I can't read it because I don't have a subscription, but there is a article in the Salt Lake Tribune about multi-level marketing, and it is linked to the LDS Church.
Here's the top 10 multi-level marketing by revenue. Amway's number 1 with 8.8 billion.
Wait, let me guess. Let me guess the rest.
Okay, go ahead.
So Herbalife, which he just mentioned, is going to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Cutco?
Yeah, probably.
Coco?
Cutco.
Cutco. Not top 10.
Avon.
Avon is up there.
Arbonne?
Arbonne is not up
Is
there.
Tupperware still going to be on there?
came in at number 10.
What else we got?
Oh, doTERRA.
doTERRA is not up there.
Advocare.
Advocare is not up there.
So who else you got, Aaron?
So it goes Amway's number 1 at 8.8 billion. Avon is number 2 at 5.7 billion. Herbalife is number 3, 4.5. Vorwerk, 4.2 billion. It's a German company, offers intensely engineered expensive products like Thermomix cooking appliances and vacuum cleaners. Mary Kay's at number 5, 3.5 billion. Infinitus, 3.4 billion. China's Infinitus has become a powerhouse selling herbal health solutions for common issues. Perfect, 3.06 billion. They said, can you consider it like the Chinese Avon? But there's a lot more, offering everything from health solutions to wine and laundry detergent. Number 8 at 2.89 billion is Quanjian. Sells supplements and nutritional products. Natura, 2.26 billion, a Brazilian company that sells spa like soap, skincare, shit like that. And number 10 is Tupperware.
Glad to see Tupperware still kicking. And I looked up more information about Utah. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
No, I was gonna say is Tupperware, because I had never even, I didn't know Tupperware was a distinct company. I thought it was just the name for plastic shit that you put leftovers in.
That's how you know it's a good company.
Like Kleenex.
That
Wow.
you think
Or
that's just
Band-Aid.
what it's called.
Yeah, I thought, Kleenex, Band-Aid. Yeah, I just thought it was. So hold on, they have like a patent on all Tupperware?
No. Tupperware is the brand name for a certain type of food storage thing. But other companies that sell food storage stuff, people just call it Tupperware. Like you can sell it.
That's just a strong marketing right
It's
there.
very good market. It's because of Big T's great grandparents. They put in the sweat equity in that brand. Wait, what about that? Oh, Vaseline, yeah, is one of those companies where you just associate the brand.
Vaseline, yeah. Like petroleum jelly.
Vaseline? I've never heard it called Vaseline.
Vaseline. Oh.
It's kind of Vaseline. That's kind of fancy.
Vaseline.
So I'd forgotten that the Mormon Church, some branches, they ask you to contribute 10% of all your earnings to them.
Tithing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a lot of
Church
that's more
says
than
to do that.
Mormons.
The Lord says to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's more than Mormons. Like they pass around the plate in a lot of churches and stuff, but I think it's more commonly and rigorously enforced in the Mormon Church that 10%. We get 10%.
At least.
Well, nuns and priests can't even accept money.
Mm-hmm.
How do they just get all their money from the church
Yeah,
Yeah.
they live at
to
the
live?
The rectory.
wherever, and yeah.
Or the, yeah. Also, it says that for Utah, they say it could be because I guess Utah is a good state to start a business in, like their state laws. Also, it says that mommy blogging is very big in Utah,
Mm-hmm.
and so a lot of women who get into that, they say, women who are Latter-day Saints and evangelical Christians were also getting involved with MLMs. So the Venn diagram was just a circle.
Gotcha.
Of like women who are in MLMs, women who are Mormon, women in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it says because some conservative households say it hurts families for mothers to work outside the home, but the economic reality is that most families can't survive on a single income. MLMs serve as a solution by allowing women to contribute by having a business they can run without leaving the home. Also, it says MLMs, as a joke in Utah, stand for Mormons losing money.
Like that. I like that.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of cases against Herbalife recently.
Yeah, Herbalife is...
So Herbalife is publicly traded, which is interesting. So they're a stock that you can buy, and there have been a bunch of billionaires that have kind of gone to war over it recently about whether they're shorting or whether they're investing in the long-term health of the stock as a multi-level marketing company. So Carl Icahn, the billionaire investor, he had a bunch of shares of Herbalife, and I think he sold all of them recently. In 2021, he sold all of them, and there was 5 million shares that he had, and it was he's an activist investor, so he tried to put his fingerprints on the company a little bit. He made $1.3 billion off buying Herbalife. And then I believe it was Ackman, the other billionaire that's been in the news recently, that was hang on, I'm going to look this up to make sure I get the details right, but I think he had like an adversarial share in Herbalife. Let's see. Yeah, so Bill Ackman, he bet for 5 years that the stock price would go to zero. And he recently sold his shares, and the stock went to 6.3% on the news that he sold it. Essentially, he had a crusade against Herbalife. So in 2012, he put a big bet against it, and Herbalife plunged 20% in 3 days right after he put his bet against it. And it bounced back, and in November 2017, the stock skyrocketed to 51% for the year, and then Ackman closed out his short position and put it into a put position instead. And he got into a big debate with Carl Icahn about it. So it was like billionaires doing a dick measuring contest over who's going to be right about the future of this company. And it looks like Ackman lost that one, even though you could, I see the argument. Like if you have the opportunity to bet against a multi-level marketing company, knowing the history of these companies and the penalties that they've been forced to pay and all the regulations, it seems like it would be a good bet, but he got his ass kicked on that bet. But Herbalife in 2016 did have to pay $200 million to the FTC, and they had to restructure their business. So now they're doing nutrition clubs. There are Herbalife shops that sell colorful drinks and wellness lingo, and they get new customers that don't know that they're a multi-level marketing company. And so they have kind of like restructured and become more public-facing as opposed to just using their own employees to do most of the sale. That probably ties in with the LA Galaxy. Like they're going straight, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I didn't know Herbalife was a MLM. Honestly, that's the only place I'd ever seen it was on the soccer jerseys.
Yeah. Avon is another one. $2.04 billion in net sales in 2022. But they've been around for a long time. Avon's been around since 1886. So the origin story of Avon is very interesting. There was a guy named David McConnell. He was a book salesman, and he was in New York, and he noticed that women weren't buying his books, and he wanted to increase his market share selling books to females. So he started adding free perfume samples to the books that he would sell. And then the people that would purchase them, they wanted more perfume. They didn't care as much about the books. They're like, but your perfume is really, really good. And so he thought to himself, you know what? I will start selling perfume using the name California Perfume Company. And then I will hire the people that buy my perfume, the women, to sell it to other women that they know. So they were the first group of American women to be financially independent, and they had their own jobs, which was not a common thing in the United States at the time. Like women didn't work, and they would go door to door. They would say, "Ding dong, Avon calling," and that's how you knew that the Avon lady would be there. So they switched things up in 2005. Now they're like multi-level marketing, and there are 6.5 million Avon representatives all around the world working for them. So they don't have like a retail shop. You can't go and buy Avon shit at like the mall, I guess, or there's no Avon store, but they have like all these different entrepreneurs that they work with. That's what they call them, and then you go out and sell them. Do you guys know any Avon ladies?
I know people my mom was friends with like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Not currently, I don't think.
No, I don't think current either.
One girl that I follow on Instagram that I grew up with is in like every new MLM every 3 months, but
I know an Herbalife girl.
yeah.
So that she's bounced around.
Shade being thrown there. A little shade being thrown there.
She's bounced around to
Yeah,
a serial MLM employee.
Yes. So she's like probably a couple years older than me, and like has a husband and 2 kids, and her first one was selling pearls, but like not like necklaces. Like she would go on Facebook Live. I was addicted to watching these during COVID. She'd go on Facebook Live and have like literal clams and pop pearls, and like somehow like then people were buying them.
Like fresh pearls?
Yeah, because then it was like her thing. Like she would get these clams, and then it would be like, oh, if I get good pearls, then you can buy from me like earrings. Like I'll take these pearls and then I'll make them a set of earrings or a necklace or something. So then that was one, which I didn't understand, and I don't really get that, but whatever. Pearls, and then she was in on, I believe, LuLaRoe, which is leggings.
Yeah.
That's one she was in. And then she was in on, I don't know if it was doTERRA, but it was essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was perfumes. Like, it's just been anything she can grasp. But the pearls during COVID were a big source of entertainment for me.
All right, so LuLaRoe, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
They reached their peak in 2016. They had $2 billion in sales.
Which is they're the ugliest fucking leggings ever.
So what was the big deal about them?
I don't know. People were buying them.
So in the New York office, the original New York Barstool office, there was a storefront that was like across the street from us that sold a shitload of leggings. I'm pretty sure that's all that they sold. And they had a bunch of mannequins that were in front of the store, except they were just like waist down mannequins that were all wearing the leggings. And you would see dudes walk by all day and like stop and like check out the asses of these mannequins.
Are you talking about 2 offices ago?
2 offices
Okay,
ago.
yeah. I was like, where is that?
Yeah, 2 offices. There would be dudes that would just stop in the sidewalk and like check out the asses of these mannequins.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was very funny to watch from the window. So LuLaRoe, like I said, they had $2 billion in sales in 2016, and the company is still in business. The startup costs are down 90%. The commission structure is a little bit different, and they had to pay almost $5 billion to the state of Washington because of accusations that they operated a pyramid scheme. And so they kind of, I feel like that's got to be in your budget if you're doing MLM. Like at some point, we're gonna have to pay some group or some state a shitload of money so that we can continue to operate. Amazon made a documentary about LuLaRoe. Did you guys watch that?
I believe I did.
Lula Rich
Yeah.
is what it was called. So they tell the new employees, don't go to debt to join the company. If you have the money, use the money as an investment, but don't go into debt. But in the series, there were a bunch of people, a bunch of women that were saying that they were advised to sell their breast milk to NICUs so that they can afford to increase their inventory. It's like, oh, well, you haven't bought enough recently? Don't go into debt, but are you pregnant? We'll sell some of that breast milk. Like it's liquid gold you got there. There's gold in them that are hills.
But yeah, no, I never got the LuLaRoe thing because they were just like also ugly as hell.
Yeah. You got to have a decent product, I guess, or
Yeah.
just
Like
pretend that they're good.
Mary Kay, I did not know was a scam or a MLM until later in life, but like my mom had all of Mary Kay stuff growing up. And then if you get to the top of that pyramid, you get a pink Cadillac.
Yeah, that's true. And you see those pink Cadillacs driving around every once in a blue moon.
And then
You're like, that
she's
person,
a Mary Kay queen.
that person's good. So with Mary,
Is that where that's from? There's one of those in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet the
Yeah.
person in your neighborhood sold a fuck ton of eyeshadow and lipstick in the early 2010s.
Bet, yo, that's
How much
funny
do you
as
have to
hell. I
sell
always
for
see-
that?
I think it's $1 million. How much?
So with Mary Kay, they sell a product that people like, though, right? Like women,
Yeah,
women
it's like
like
good
Mary
makeup.
Kay. Yeah, they like the makeup.
Yeah. There's also
At least 100 grand of inventory annually and consistently selling a monthly quota of 17 grand, and it's a leased car.
Oh, you don't own it?
Yeah.
no.
Damn.
So then as soon as you don't hit 17K, they snatch that thing up.
They repossess it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty game.
Tow
It
truck
says-
drivers, man.
Approximately 10% of Mary Kay independent sales directors earned the use of the iconic pink Cadillac.
Tow truck drivers, the game, and
Company car.
it's a dirty business to be in. We should talk to somebody that knows the Chicago tow truck industry because it's like the mafia here.
Really?
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
got
lace me. I don't know about this. Lace
they
me.
got like drive-by shootings and stuff.
The tow trucks?
Yeah, you got your territory. It's a big thing. Like you don't invade another tow truck man's district.
I'm not familiar with this.
It's like block to block in some places. Yeah, you don't get to tow from here. That's my territory.
I know a lot of them keep burners on them just because it gets hectic when you try to tow somebody's car. You know, the people be ready to fight and shit.
Yep.
But I didn't know they was beefing with other tow truck drivers too. That's a whole different ballgame. That's the streets.
Yeah.
This is a drug game.
It is a gang. Yeah.
I can imagine there are areas of Chicago where being a tow truck driver is pretty dangerous.
So in my neighborhood, there was a shooting a few months ago where like 4 guys got out of an SUV, rolled up on a tow truck driver. They had like AR-15s, assault rifle 15s.
Is this the one I showed you that you didn't know about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd seen that one.
Well, there was one I was like, hey, how close is this to your house? And you were like, very close. And you didn't know about it.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think it was this one.
There have been multiple shootings in and around my neighborhood involving tow truck drivers. But this is like a thing in Chicago. So you can go online and read a bunch of people that got out of multi-level marketing. I don't know how you get out. Like, do you just have all your friends like have an intervention with you? Be like, hey, you don't talk to me like a friend anymore. You just talk to me like you're trying to sell me something. Because that's what they'll do is they'll prey on people sometimes that are, I guess, easily influenced, and convince them, okay, we're supposed to be friends, right? Well, as a friend, I want to introduce you to this because I think that you're worth it. They like build you up and get you excited about selling, and then you just lose a bunch of money.
It sounds like it's very predatory on the salespeople too. Like they probably could prey on like, working class people or even poor people that need to make a quick or trying to make something happen for themselves. And then you can get kind of lost in the sauce if you're not, hip to the game that you playing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people that are selling, you can spot people that are involved in this because they don't really care that much about the stuff that they're selling. They just care about being a CEO for themselves. And if you don't, right. It's hard to be successful if you're starting a company and you don't give a fuck what the product is. You just give a fuck about being successful. That's usually like a red flag to me. You can look up a bunch of horror stories about people that have joined multi-level marketing organizations and gotten out and the stuff that they had to do while they were there. But it's some of them are very cult-like, where you're taught to like worship the people that are above you, the people that have gone diamond, and they like isolate you from your friends, isolate you from your family. There was one story that I read where they essentially had like an intervention for their mom, and they asked their mom like, "So you're choosing juice over your children?" And she was like, "Yes, I am," and just wouldn't take the intervention. Some bad stuff.
Damn.
Yep. There was
humanity.
You know what a real dirty scheme is? And this happened to me at my job when I was at a gym, and I knew somebody else that worked for a different gym, and the same thing happened to them. When your boss at your real job tries to get you to invest in their other gig that they have going.
That's like, have you seen The Other Guys?
Yeah.
When the police chief, who also works at Bed Bath & Beyond, is given like the morning announcements, and he starts talking about a killer on the loose in Brooklyn Heights, and he goes, "Oh, that's my other gig." Well, if you live in Brooklyn Heights, be aware. But
yeah. There was a boss that I had that brought in like a binder of all the shit that they were selling at their side hustle for an MLM, and she was like, "Look at this binder and see if there's anything that you want, and also you can work for me and you can sell these products." So she was trying to be my double boss.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's real tough.
It's like seeing your teacher outside of school, but then it's just forever.
Yeah, forever. Like round the clock, this person controls you. It was very, very uncomfortable sitting through like a presentation because if they're your boss at your real job, you feel pressured to not go against whatever they tell you to do at your real job because you can get fired. But now what they're telling to you is to invest in their other job.
What if you got fired from one, but you're still on at the other?
Yeah, that'd be funny. It'd be funny. Like, listen, we got to let you go. You're late to work. You're taking excessive breaks. You're not doing your job. But you can still work with me selling this. But we're still cool, right?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow at the meetup.
At the other gig.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you're involved in an MLM, I hope you're making money doing it, but maybe chill and maybe don't be such a predator trying to get people to sign up and throw their money away.
Or recognize that you're in one.
Recognize that you're in one.
Do you think we've opened anyone's eyes today?
Possibly. And I'm sure that they've heard it from other people in their lives, but they don't. You're just so ingrained to think that this way of thinking negatively towards your job, that's the reason why people don't succeed at their jobs at MLMs, because everybody else is a hater. And if people are telling you that you can't be a good business person, don't listen to negativity. You just got to go out there and sell more. If you're hearing any of those warning bells at your job right now, I hope that this is a bigger, much louder warning bell. And also your friends are sick of you hitting them up, trying to get them to join all the time. Like your friend, even the friends that still seem like they're friendly, they're just being polite. They don't want to be hearing from you right now. They don't want you to be using them to make more money. All right. Anything else?
Nah, man. Just glad the Lakers are 10-4, sitting at number 3 in the West.
We're a nice little squad this year.
Are we now?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm Laker T.
You have joined?
I go wherever DK goes.
Hey, we'll take you, brother. Hey, shit. Me and you have a bite. Let's go to a Laker game this year.
I looked last night. Those fuckers, they're here the Thursday night of the Sweet 16, which is so hopefully UT is in the Sweet 16. They're playing on Friday, and then I will be there for sure.
I got you. So the day after Thanksgiving, I think the Lakers play San Antonio. I'm going to be at my mom's. She lives in San Antonio, and she's like, let's go to the game. And I looked at the tickets. I've become a little bougie in the sense that I only like to sit with the floor seats or box seats. I'm a little bougie when it comes to that. And the floor seats are like, I don't know, $4,000, which I normally wouldn't mind paying, especially if it's to see Bron and the Lakers. Like I want to see Kobe. I used to fork that shit out all the time.
I actually thought you would have said more.
It's San Antonio.
Yeah, but it's still LeBron.
That's why they upped it. It's usually way less than that. Like ain't nobody seen the San Antonio Spurs. I guess Wemby's kind of pumping it up lately. But anyway, I was going to pay that shit, but I got my kids too, and my mom want to go, and I'm not there. That's going to be like 20 racks to go see LeBron. And
you won't sit like fifth row?
It's just you got to be careful what you introduce your mind to.
I agree.
I will say that out there, because once you get a taste of it, you can go back, but you notice that there's difference.
But I'm not saying sit upper level.
I just me. Like I like to sit on the floor, or at least the row behind the floor. That I could do the row behind the floor.
On the feet on the carpet, not the wood.
Yeah, I'm a little bougie when it comes to that. I have a few luxuries in my life that I will pay for, but the majority, like, I'm a regular cat. But
you muted yourself.
Sorry, but that I need the floor seats. I do.
Way better to watch basketball on the floor than it is to watch football.
Oh, football, you don't want to be first
10
rows.
You don't.
I've actually never saw a game in the stands before.
That's nuts.
Where's the best seat?
15 rows up-ish. And then obviously as close to the 50 as you can get.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen a game.
Because you got guys on the sidelines that you can't see the game.
And now, now you've got the medical tent. Now they put canopies over the benches. There's all sorts of stuff.
You remember they had the Booger Mobile?
Oh, yeah. And they still and the camera is going past you?
Yeah. Not a great place to be. They still charge more for it, though.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's way better than being in the upper level. But.
Yeah. And if you're down low, it also takes you forever to get up, walk out, use the bathroom, get back to your seat. You want to be in one of those middle rows. Although being in the end zone in the first row, not bad.
First row, sure.
I was actually second row at the Bengals Commanders Monday night game in the end zone. That was a pretty good play, especially when the ball was down at your end.
Right.
You got to see a lot down there, but you don't have all the obstruction stuff that you get on the sidelines.
Could get like a player could come up to you, hand you a ball.
You might get a ball.
Yeah.
You might catch an errant field goal. All right. We got anything else? Aaron Rodgers almost benched earlier this year.
Saw that.
Woody Johnson.
Really?
That would have been hilarious.
Woody Johnson suggested to the coaching staff that they bench Aaron Rodgers after they lost to the Broncos. Yeah.
Which, in fairness, they wouldn't have been any worse.
Probably not. That's how.
By the time gets us all, man.
Yep. All right. Well,
R.I.P. to my goat.
We will see you guys next week. We've got a different schedule of release coming out next week for Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys then. Love you guys.